We've reached the halfway point of the 2023 NASCAR Cup season, and what a journey it's been so far. Try Today, we return to the wild and beautiful West Coast, where the captivating scenery of wine country is only outdone by the twists and turns of this breathtaking track. It's race day in Sonoma, California.
And we welcome you live to California wine country. NASCAR on Fox at Sonoma Raceway. 10 different drivers have won the first 15 races, and who will it be today across a wild ride through the countryside? Weather's nice, temperature in the 60s, sun is peeking through, and this is race day on Fox, presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Nice to have you tuning in, the wrap-up Fox race for the season, and we are on the track at the scene to bring you closer to it all. Sun is shining. This is great. Jamie McMurray out of the studio to join Clint Boyer. He'll be up in the booth to call the race. We're about 30 minutes away from that. Nice to see you. What are you looking forward to most today?
Well, I got my eye on a couple of guys. Kyle Larson, it looked like he had the best car in practice, but didn't qualify well. He's back in 16th position. And the other guy would be Ross Chastain. He's had a lot of controversy earlier this year. They had a talk with him 2 or 3 weeks ago. Performance hasn't been quite as good. So ran top 10 here last year. We need to see him turn it around.
You're going to leave me, Tyler Reddick, a guy like Tyler Reddick, dominant, been lightning hot on these road courses. I'm telling you, the 45 car is definitely one of my guys, but this racetrack, such a cool vibe. Look at the energy behind us. It is hot right here today.
Nobody's won in this field more road courses than Chase Elliott. He is back. We're going to talk a little bit more about him and get your opinion. Let's check our lead lap stories as we count you down to the start of the race. And one of those is Kyle Busch, already 3 wins, trying to go back-to-back. Last time he did that, well, he's done it 6 different times in his career, but he's on a roll with RCR in his first season with that team. Chase Elliott back for that 1-race suspension after the wreck with Denny Hamlin. Sorry about that, but has a challenge ahead. And Noah Gragson, the rookie, in the field, but out today. Concussion and flu-like symptoms. He crashed last week in St. Louis. Grant Enfinger will replace him in the 42. We certainly hope he's okay. So let's talk a little bit, Clint, about Chase Elliott. And this is a guy, the most popular driver. He's going to have to now, given the points situation with 11 until the playoffs, win a race to get in.
Well, and I think, where's that going to be? I mean, 7 road course wins. He is the guy on these road courses. By the way, yesterday's practice session, Jamie, really fast. I think this is a great opportunity to get all this nonsense behind that 9 car in Chase Elliott and put this baby in victory lane.
The one thing the 9 team has on their side is that a few weeks ago, we thought maybe they could point their way in. I think they're in the must-win situation now. To me, that makes it easier on the crew chief, Alan Gustafson, that you're calling the race to win. You're not worried about stage points. Let's go out, let's win the race, and let's get in the playoffs.
We're in year 2 of the newer car. Chase, he's had success, but not necessarily in this car. Is that a challenge for him? Is that in the back of his mind, still figuring that out?
Well, mind you, yes, all the road course wins, they came on that old car. Not yet on this one, but I'm telling you, he is knocking on the door. He needs some redemption, right? He is hungry, and I think he's with the right organization. He just told you, Kyle Larson is one of the favorites of this weekend. This is a place that he can wipe all this away. But I feel like I love the fact that we don't have stage breaks. We have stages. Right. Remind yourselves, we have stages, but we don't have the caution break. That's going to be an important factor when you're calling this race, especially when you don't have to win your way, or you're after a win. You're not having to point your way in, like he just said about Allen.
And Chris, he hasn't won in this car, but if you go back just 1 year ago at this race, he had a car capable of winning. They had an issue on pit road with the loose left front wheel, took him out of contention. So he's been in position to be able to win in this car, just hasn't got it done yet.
Okay, so no stage breaks. That means you guys will talk right through that. All right, time for Protecting the Lead, sponsored by Armor All. Jimmy, why don't you take that for us?
Yeah, well, the first thing you want to do is you got to protect your rear tires. This is going to have lots of long green flag runs today. It's who can be good on the long run is going to be key. Second thing, no mistakes on pit road. We just talked about Chase Elliott had that issue on pit road last year. took him out of this race. And the final thing is from the driver's perspective, you got to stay calm and cool inside the car. Clint mentioned it, no stage brakes today. So there's going to be some different strategies most likely, and it can get frustrating inside the car. So the driver's got to keep his head on his shoulders.
Not very well done. The Fox Super 6 bet. Fox bet, you have 2 chances to win.
Two chances.
Right,
Free to play. Fox Bet Super 6 app. Get on that app. Put them picks in. Do not forget. Free to play, $10,000 online with an extra $5,000 on top. How about that,
the
Jamie?
QR code. You just give it to me right now, and we can adjust things. We'll continue live from the track in Sonoma. Denny Hamlin is on the pole. Tyler Reddick is up front. Daniel Suarez won this race last year. Thanks for hanging with us. Live from Sonoma on Fox. Counting you down to the start of the race. You're watching Race Day on Fox, presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar from Sonoma. What about the 2311 team owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin? Josh Sims has the story.
Well, 2311 Racing may just be in their 3rd season, but they've grown a ton in a short amount of time. They went from a 1-car team to a 2-car team last season. They're already building a brand new race shop, but the most impressive part has been what they've done on the track. I had a chance to catch up with their drivers, Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick, as well as their crew chiefs, to find out what the ceiling is for this young team.
Nobody said it would be easy.
I think since day one, we all knew it was going to expand pretty quick. I think we're putting the right people in the right place to make every avenue possible.
Tyler Reddick leaves RCR for 2311. His teammate is Bubba Wallace.
How's that transition been?
It's a lot of pressure, but it's a great feeling. I'm really blown away by everyone's work ethic here. It really inspires me to do the same.
Tyler Reddick is going to be a champion in this sport, but right now we've got a road course master.
We're here! Let's go!
What surprised you about this guy?
Man, he makes every day a lot more fun, that's for sure. He doesn't give me a break.
That's the thing I've ever heard.
He may not like doing all the little things, but he's doing them, and I have a huge appreciation for that, because most drivers that are set in their ways aren't willing to change them, and he's looking in the mirror, working on himself, trying to improve. I love that about him.
You can really see and hear, as he's maturing as a race car driver, that confidence is gaining, it's building.
Him being able to win at Kansas last year, that legitimized his spot in Nascar Cup Series.
What they gonna say now, baby?
What's different for you right now?
The mentality. When I look at Charlotte, easily out of the 3 years that I've been here now, our worst race, and we finished 4th. And I think you rewind 2 years ago, I would have been dialed out after stage 1. But instead, you wait for the things to fall in your place and you capitalize.
A lot of the question was, with Tyler coming on, would you still be able to establish yourself as maybe the leader of this team? Do you feel like you've answered some of that?
Well, I'd say it's 2311 Racing, not Bubba Wallace Racing, right? Never looked at it as an ego competition of, oh, he's going to come in and show me up. Yeah, he is. I knew that. The biggest thing for me is to learn. I think it shows on the racetrack, especially at road course races. When I have a rabbit in front of me, I'm faster. As far as sizing up each other, that's losing sight of the process.
When you think about what you guys are building here at 2311, what excites you about the potential of what this team could be?
As we get bigger, we stay small. How we communicate, how we share information, how we treat each other, you know. I hope that stays the same.
That was the cool part about here, walking in the door. The time I started, there was, barely 30 people, I think, working here. But like Booty said, as we grow, that's one of our goals. We talk about it often. How do we stay the small team feel? It's a challenge.
You guys feel, with what you've been able to do this year, that you can put your name in the conversation with the bigger name teams in the sport?
Well, I don't think any of us would be here if we didn't have that. So to say that we've established ourselves, we did that when we opened the doors.
Now, both 2311 drivers are currently holding down a playoff spot. Tyler Reddick's going to start on the front row for this one as he looks for his 4th career road course win. And Bubba Wallace, in the midst of his best stretch as a pro, looks to change his road course woes later on today.
All right, thank you, Josh. And back with Jamie and Quinn. Where's your confidence level on this 23-11 team? They only have one win. It is their third year.
I'm sold. They're doing a great job. I think you have both cars running good. That's hard to do, Chris. You have both cars solidly running good. You know, he is an exceptional road course racer with a great opportunity, talking about Tyler Reddick. But think about Bubba. 4 top 5s in a row. That's hard to do in this sport.
It is, and the thing to me about Bubba that's been so impressive is that he used to be known as a guy that could win like at Daytona or Talladega. He was a super speedway guy. Well, he can win at most tracks now. Road courses are his weakness, but he has one of the best road course racers as a teammate, and I think he can guide him along just a little bit here.
Okay, a lot of celebrities are here. Let's check in with Regan's not a celebrity. He thinks he is. Let's check in. Regan Smith is with one of them. Regan, I kid. You know, go ahead. Sorry.
You kid because you care, Chris, right? Hey, I'm here with Adam Devine, actor, comedian, a little bit of everything. You do everything, but today you are the Grand Marshal and, more importantly, a race fan. What is this atmosphere like back here?
Being Grand Marshal, this is my most important role right here today. I mean, it's electric. It's truly insane. As you know, specifically this track, it's so special, it's so fun, and people are losing their dang minds out there.
So people are losing their mind. They're getting ready, but one of the most important things today is going to be getting these cars cranked up. Have you practiced? Do you know exactly what you're going to do yet?
Well, I know the words that I have to say. I'm not saying them now because I don't want anyone to just start driving. So I think everyone, it's on my command. So I have to be very precious with these words.
Lots of power. Make sure you get it right and have fun out there today. Chris, it's getting fun down here.
All right, yeah, thank you, Regan. And Adam, you know, Shaquille O'Neal's expected to be here. DJ Diesel, right, going to hang out. We also have Marshawn Lynch, Alvin Kamara, among the many that are soaking up the sun, ready to enjoy this road course, including, that's the final Fox race, and we followed his whole career behind the wheel. Then he's going to come to the booth next year and join us. Kevin Harvick will be with us live from the track in just a moment.
The NASCAR circuit returns to the Golden State, and California's got one more shot to celebrate a favorite son. Halfway through Kevin Harvick's final year, the Fox NASCAR season fades to black. In his 805 Cup starts, 400 have been on Fox, where he won 31 races. In fact, his first career win was on Fox.
Gordon got loose. It's Harvick. What a race. What a finish.
What could be more special?
A Daytona 500 champion, two-time Coca-Cola 600 winner, one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers. Expectations are high for his future role. He's already made quite a few laps. One of only 3 drivers to be in all 6 of the drivers-only broadcasts. Here's to your new home, Kevin Harvick. Welcome to the Fox family.
Today will be his 806th career start, so he will move into sole possession of 9th all-time in the Cup Series in terms of starts, moving just ahead of Jeff Gordon. And we look at this track, just under 2 miles, 11 different turns on a beautiful layout in the wine country in Northern California on a sunny day. Temps in the high 60s, 70s later in the day. We've moved down the grid with Quentin, Jamie. We're right in front of the 4-car. Kevin is going to join us as soon as he gets off the truck, riding around telling everybody how good he is. Yeah.
I got a chance to drive Jamie around in the pace car earlier. I'm telling you right now, Jamie, look at this. This is our opportunity right here, Jamie.
Okay.
Let's go. One last trip.
Based on how rough it was and the ride you gave me, I don't want to go back out there right now.
All right, so let's review before he gets here. Kevin Harvick's amazing career. And through Fox, by the way, we've been along for the wild ride. We've talked to him all year long. He's done a good job of handling the sentimentality right of this final year and still focusing. He's 3rd in points, trying to get into the playoffs and finish strong before broadcasting.
Yeah, you know, we know he wants to be in victory lane one more time. Does he need to do that to, you know, put a period on his career? I don't think so. I think he's a champion forever. You know, they says that right on the back of his holler, and it's true. He is a champion of this sport, but I think he can still get the job done, and I think he's hungrier than ever to do that.
Oh, there's no doubt he can get the job done, and we've shown this year, though, it seems like Ford's been a little bit up and down. I mean, we thought they were out just a few weeks ago, and Blaney went on to win the Coke 600, but it just seems like their window of getting the car right is much smaller than the other 2 makes.
Yeah, I mean, Stewart-Haas, right, they just haven't, they've had some penalty issues, too, or some severe punishment in that regard, but it just seems like they haven't clicked yet. I mean, Kevin's done a good job of just hanging in there.
Hey, all right, I hear both of you guys. I hear that. Let me sell him, all right? This guy right here, Kevin Harvick, you're talking about an old, wore-out racetrack. You talked about the temperature. It's going to be slick today. You need a driver with some experience spots on this track, and I think Kevin Harvick's just the man for the job.
By the way, this is the Toyota Save Mart 350, so I have that looks like, Jamie, when you go to Costco with the family, you just start filling things up.
That's exactly, Chris, the cart that I feel like my wife gets when we go to Costco. I've actually ridden that, never again, a pretty wild experience, but I think, like, you make a really good point with Kevin Harvick at this racetrack. It's worn out. Tires are going to be really important, managing those. Kevin has a history of being one of those guys that's able to do that, so you can't count him out at a place like this.
Was really good last year here. You know, he ran extremely solid. You think about it. You said that Fords had kind of been up and down. You need a consistent driver, and that's why Kevin Harvick's still leading in charge over there.
What kind of advice? You both were drivers, and you've made the transition to broadcasting with Fox and FS1 in different various ways, and I'm saying you've done okay. But what advice would you give? You should see the dirty look I just got.
I personally am just going to pray for Kevin because he has to work with that guy.
What advice would you give Kevin? You got to give him one liner. Let's say you handle the play-by-play. You would handle the studio portion. What would you tell him?
You know what I am looking forward to is he's the one that's been in this car the latest, right? He's fresh out of the seat. He knows the ins and outs, the feels that these guys are going through with this new car in particular. And I can't wait to get somebody in the booth with that perspective.
I think Kevin's just going to be a good balance with Clint because we know that Clint can be a little bit of goofball sometimes and has a lot of fun. Kevin's much more straightforward, going to be kind of to the facts. So I think those two are going to, there he is. He'll balance out well.
You missed them giving you advice on broadcasting. Did you just let that go?
Advice?
Right? Yeah.
Oh, man.
On how to do it. Have they given you advice?
His was a prayer.
Is there a handbook?
I said I was going to pray for you.
Oh, thank you. All right. Well, I think it'll be fun. As long as we can keep him under control.
That's exactly what
your job is.
Okay, I'm good with that. It's not the first time.
For every action, there's got to be a reaction.
I like it.
We saw something. Chuck McDonald, our producer, he said you came by the crew the other day. We have 100 or so people work behind the scenes. You got to sit in the truck, around the video, the production. You talk to people, almost like you would with your pit crew through your racing career or people in the shop. So obviously you're taking the broadcasting very seriously. But how important, if you can connect the two to what you've enjoyed in racing, that you'll carry over into television?
Well, I think that's the cool thing, right? Because this is what we've all done for our whole life, and being able to tell the story about what you see and what the guys and gals are doing on pit road or in the race car is something that, for me, is a lot of fun because I love racing. I love being around racing. I love talking racing, and especially with people who like to talk racing with you. So it's really like hanging out on the couch and having a good time. But yeah, going back through the trailers and stuff in the back and learning about how much it takes to get everything to be on this screen. Oh man, that's a lot.
How about
take me to today? Take me to the task at hand. All right, we got some ground to cover, Kevin. But we talked about old, wore out. I was selling you, by the way. Old, wore out racetrack, slick out there. I said I need an experienced driver, a guy that's been there and done that. You're the right guy.
Well, I think the guys that have been here and are able to place the car in the right spot, as you know, this pace is going to slow way down. The rear tires are your friend, and knowing which curb to climb on, where your balance needs to be. I'd rather have a tight car. I'd rather my car be tight so that I can bounce off a curb and help the car turn. And
more forgiving.
And more forgiving because I know that I'm going to have more drive if my car's tight. So hopefully we were way off when we started yesterday and got it better through qualifying. And went off of those adjustments and tried to do everything we could to get the car to be tighter through the fast stuff, but also have that drive coming up off the corners.
This is that experience I was talking about. I talked to a couple kids out here, and they said, man, I want my car to turn. We're a free race car.
Right. That's not going to be fun in 10 laps.
Well, wait, we have to wrap up, so you guys will head to the booth. You can go early if you want. If you
I got to work on my impersonation of you next year. So
with the hair.
We're all getting better
at it. I have learned, well, no, just in general.
Yes, yeah. Well, you could say something like smart alecky and then say I kid because I care. Gets you off the hook.
Even your producer does a good one.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay,
you should hear it.
You don't have to kid, though.
Oh, you'll tell him like it. Thanks, all right. Have a great finish to the year.
I can't wait.
We can't wait to see you in the booth. You guys have fun today. Call on Kevin in action.
Good luck, Kevin.
All right, thanks, Kevin. All right, I realized you had to hustle right from the truck ride and visiting around. All right, and we will continue with the grid walk. I think Michael is set up, and we have people moving. But Michael, you're always ready for the grid walk. Take it away, baby.
Just take the radio.
Hey, it's the grid walk. It's the last one of the year. I'm kind of sad. I brought along security. How about Braun? He's telling me that you're going to talk to me. Is that true?
Well, you're here, so I guess I'm going to, but it's my bodyguard for the day, so ain't nobody going to mess with me.
I love that. Great job last weekend. Those restarts after restarts, I loved watching every lap of it. It's cool to see you win.
I hope we can have a lot of that here today where we're up front battling like that again, and if we got to move our elbows out a little bit, we will.
Man, I appreciate you coming along with me, making these drivers talk. They're being a lot nicer to me than
for some odd reason, people are just
aren't shy when I'm around. I don't know. Am I that welcoming? Is it this beautiful face, this luscious beard, or is it the Bucky shirt?
It's the Bucky shirt. Let's see what Ricky's done. Hey, Brian, come here. Ricky, how you doing?
Wonderful, Michael. How are you?
This is a wiry athlete. He can really go to town. Ron's here to say hello and make sure everybody's having a good day.
I need him as my bodyguard. I'm gonna take him on vacation with me.
Where are we going?
Cabo.
Let's go.
Lou, can I go?
You win
Let's
this
go.
thing tonight and put me in the suitcase.
Yes.
Can I go?
You can go. Last time we ran this Cottonelle car, Michael, we won.
Oh, great. That's awesome. Hope you have a great day today. And thank you for coming along on the grid walk with me. It's not long, it's fast, and it's over now, but you made my day. Thank you.
Pleasure is all mine. It was an honor, sir.
We're off to break.
Let's go racing.
Road racing coming up next.
Live in Sonoma, aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, powering every mile and every moment on NASCAR's road to victory. Goodyear, more driven. Hi, I'm Chris Myers. Yes, your host with the most from coast to coast, and we welcome you.
Take a call in. See what you're about moments like this. Oh, yeah, boys. Let's go.
Take the check to the bank.
They did spit that out.
Right.
The Daytona 500.
You won. Right.
How's my form, Jamie?
It's looking good. It's looking good, Adam. Watch out for the speed bumps.
If you're in it, you can win it.
Here comes Peter Cottontail. Thank you for coming and joining me.
My goodness, those ties are like as big as, I don't know, your necks.
Oh, we're jamming hard. They need a parking.
You better get it, Clint.
Oh, they did it.
You
Let's go!
It really has been a fun on Fox season once again, and thanks for being along with us. I can't think of a better spot to wrap things up. Our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise as you are able and remove your hats as the Travis Air Force Base Honor Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to offer today's invocation, please welcome team pastor for the Golden State Warriors and the San Francisco 49ers, Earl Smith.
Let us bow our heads. Father, this is the day that you have made, and we rejoice and we are glad in it. We pray for each team that is represented here, for the spectators that will watch. We ask for health, strength, and safety. Bless this nation and allow us to be one by your Spirit. We pray this in Christ Jesus' name. Amen.
Here to perform today's national anthem is rising country music artist and Sacramento native, whose new EP, All About Love, is out now, Tiffany Woys.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
beautiful sight. Beautiful weather. Thanks for being a part of NASCAR on Fox. Enjoy the race, everybody.
At the ready, last week's winner, Kyle Busch. Last year's winner here, Daniel Suarez. Denny Hamlin, who will start from the pole. And Tyler Reddick. Is he the new road course ace? Welcome to Sonoma and Wine Country and the Toyota Save Mart 350 on Fox. 16th and final Fox race of the season for 2023. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Mike Joy with Clint Boyer, who has won a Cup race at Sonoma, and Jamie McMurray, who has sat on the pole here 3 different times. What is it about this place?
It's the most fun weekend of the year. This place has always been a blast. It's always something that my wife wants to come to. You know, you got a good event when you look over your shoulder and your wife's with you at a racetrack. But it just is that. It's super special. The energy before the race, everybody's here, Mike.
Yeah, Clint talks about everything outside the track. The track is really fun, too. All the drivers enjoy racing to this place. And the most important thing, all these drivers have looked at social media all week leading up to this, and they've seen photos of everybody in Victory Lane drinking a wine from the goblet.
So for some drivers, this is 12 turns of terror. And for others, every corner is a new opportunity. What are you looking at?
Love this racetrack. Love the opportunity. You're talking about road course boys. Look at Tyler Reddick. You got Tyler Reddick. You've got, you know, Chase Elliott. I think he's back on track for a win here today. I think you also have Larson. These are some of the favorites. But look at this racetrack. Look at the elevation change as you go up the hill into 1, 2, 3. 3-8. It's a blind corner, guys, all the way down the hill into 4. 4 is where the magic is. I think you have to get the run off of 4 because 7, that's the first passing zone opportunity, Jamie.
Yeah, and getting off of that corner, the exit of that corner, getting a good run down the S's, you see down through 8, 9, into 10, that's the next most important corner because if you can have a good exit off of turn 10, that sets you up for that passing zone into turn 11 where you'll see most of the passing today.
He's going to call it a passing zone. That is Dive Bomb City. It should have its own name right on the side of it.
I was going to ask you, danger zones here.
Yes. It's all over the place, but it's turn 7 and it's turn 11. That's where the passing is done. And if you're passing anywhere in between there, it's because you're avoiding an accident.
With the old car, you could curb hop and climb and hop and pop those curbs. What about with this new car?
That's a really good point. With this new car, we don't see the guys using the curbs near as much as they did before, especially in turn 4, Mike. We talked about how big that curb is. We don't see the drivers hitting that. They're trying to use it, and sometimes you use that to get the car to turn, but you can't do it in this car like we saw yesterday in Xfinity or last year, or 2 years ago.
The exit of these corners, some of them rougher than a corn cob.
Oh, the track is very rough. Jamie and I were both out there in a pace car. First things out of our mind was like, oh my gosh, this thing is
unbelievable
really rough.
how rough the track is this year.
You heard him talk about the exit of 7. Forward drive out of that corner is such an important thing for the lap time, but it's an important thing because it wears the rear tires out. Once you start wearing rear tires out, you're along for the ride. You're going through the S's on that back straightaway very fast. Then the car starts laterally coming out from underneath of you. You can't carry the momentum. Now all of a sudden off of 4, just like Jamie talked about, Dive Bomb City we were at in 11. If you start sliding around getting into 10 and don't have a run into 11, you're going to be in for a long day at this place.
Conservative or patiently aggressive or just go for it?
Well, I mean, you're going to have to be aggressive on the restarts without a doubt. We know that's the best place to capitalize and to gain the most positions. But to me, there's going to be a little bit of strategy today, Mike. So you're going to have to be conservative just to make sure you can get to the end and let your crew chief make the right decision.
Mindful. No stage breaks. There's stages, but no stage breaks. No caution. That's going to play a huge play in this game at the end of it when you start talking about strategy, just like he talked about. Nailed it.
Yeah, Larry Mack will give us more on that later. So there is Denny Hamlin's car ready to go from the pole. Tyler Reddick alongside. Time to pop the cork and get this party started.
Here to say the most famous words in motorsports from the upcoming Netflix film The Outlaws, actor and comedian Adam Devine.
Drivers, start your engine!
NASCAR's best, ready for action at a track that's provided spills and thrills throughout the years, and will surely do so today. NASCAR on Fox is at Sonoma.
Sonoma, California, wine country. NASCAR invades Northern California today. The second road course of the season presents its own sorts of unique twists and turns. Will Daniel Suarez go back-to-back? Or will someone new rise to the occasion and cement themselves into the playoff conversation? It's time to run, and you better keep up. Drinks from the chalice this year. Find out next. This is NASCAR on Fox from wine country.
Welcome to Sonoma, where yesterday Denny Hamlin scored his second road course pole ever and his first at this tricky 12-turn road course in Sonoma. Jamie Little spoke to our pole sitter before he climbed aboard the number 11.
And this is Denny Hamlin's second career road course pole. And yesterday you told me in the interview that this road course stuff with the next-gen cars exposed those deficits, but you nailed it in qualifying. So how much time and effort have you put into being better for this race to get the win today?
Yeah, I mean, I think that certainly the 2311 team really helped this week quite a bit. Tyler Reddick and the whole group over there, but my guys as well just did a great job with some adjustments there during the day yesterday, and I got it down for one lap. Now just got to figure out the other 110.
All right, Denny Hamlin will lead the field to green for the first time at Sonoma. Mike.
Thanks, Jamie. Tyler Reddick has won 3 of the last 5 road courses on the NASCAR Cup Special. Is he the series' new road course king? Chase Elliott may have something to say about that today, along with many other drivers who have this one circled on their calendar. He's the outside pole sitter, Clint.
Let's dial him up. How about you, Tyler Reddick? Boy and the boys up in the Fox booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Man, oh man, I tell you, boss man Denny Hamlin gave you praise. He may have given the old dog some of your tricks. Been red hot on these road courses, winning at Coda, 3 out of the last 5. Haven't won here. Can you change that today?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, obviously, we got a really good car. It's just all about executing today. We'll try and do that. That's our ability, and just take it one stop at a time.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Welcome.
Tyler Reddick checking pit road speed. Let's have a look at our Toyota Save Mart 350 starting grid. Denny Hamlin, first Sonoma pole, anchors an all-Toyota front row with Tyler Reddick. Row number 2, Michael McDowell, the fastest Ford in town. He finished 3rd here last year, along with Christopher Bell, a 2-time road course winner. Best Chevy in the field, A.J. Allmendinger. Both of his Cup wins have come on road courses. And rookie Ty Gibbs, his best road course start. Row 4, Chris Buescher in a Ford, and Martin Truex, a 3-time Sonoma winner in a Toyota. In the 5th row, Daniel Suarez, last year's winner in a Chevrolet. Chase Elliott's back. He's a 7-time road course winner, but it's his first road course race of the season today. Let's dial up Daniel.
Hey, Daniel Suarez, it's Jamie Mack up in the Fox booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
All right, amigo, you won this race 1 year ago. Based on what you saw yesterday, practice and qualifying, do you think you got a car that can get it done again today?
Yep. Definitely we had to work on it very hard. Practice wasn't super easy for us, but my team never quit believing in me, and I never quit believing in them, and we made some good adjustments. We put the car in the right direction, and I feel like right now we are going to be in the hunt.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck, and when you get over there to turn 3, give the Daniel's amigos a wave when you go by, all right?
Yep, let's do it. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. You guys have fun.
All right, NASCAR fans, it's your last chance this year to win $10,000 of Clint's cash for free on the Fox Bet Super 6. Just download the Super 6 app on your phone now. Enter your 6 race predictions. Download now. Get your picks in before the contest closes. Beautiful day in wine country. Let's go to pit road. Jamie Little.
Good afternoon, Mike. You know, one name we've talked a lot about this year is Ty Gibbs, mostly because of the tremendous speed that this rookie has. So could today be the day he has that breakout first Cup career win? It could be. If qualifying was any indication, this could be his day. He had never seen this racetrack until Friday. Never even been in Northern California until Friday, and he goes out and qualifies 6th. You keep your eye on that 54. He's pretty good at these road courses, Regan.
Jamie, Michael McDowell, somebody we always have to watch on the road courses. He finished 3rd in this race a year ago, qualified 3rd yesterday. Told me this race car better than that car 1 year ago. Keep an eye on him today. Mike?
Thanks, Regan. The all-new Toyota Camry TRD, driven by WWE superstar Braun Strowman, is leading the field to green. And Noe Elizondo, Toyota's honorary starter, ready to wave the green flag. And we're racing in Sonoma.
Great jump right off the bat with Denny Hamlin. Christopher Bell almost got in there with him, taking a spot over Reddick. Off the racetrack here a little bit.
You see Reddick fighting back really hard on the outside of Christopher Bell. Clint, I almost thought that maybe Hamlin and Reddick had something worked out. You see Reddick hits that inside curve and loses momentum, but I thought maybe they had worked something out on the start, a little give and take.
Not the best start for Reddick for sure.
Turn 4, Gibbs and Truex side by side for 4th.
Let me tell you this.
Whoa, look at him fan out here to 7.
This is the 4 into 7 that I was talking about. That's the first opportunity, a huge passing zone.
Oh, there's an issue for Suarez. He didn't get off turn 4 very good, and then was slow off 7. Looks like it's running again now.
Starting to get it sorted out here up front.
Off turn 10, and now they shoot into 11. The dive bomb area. Oh, you'll see this all day long.
You see all those guys went down to the bottom to block, and McDowell kind of thought about trying to make that outside work. If they stack up enough, you can go to the outside and maybe get beside one of those and get a row or 2.
Hamlin leads lap 1. From Bell, Reddick, Truex, and Gibbs, that's Toyota in the first 5 places.
He took the words out of my mouth. First thing I saw when they were coming around there, 5 in a row. Stacked them Toyotas up. Allmendinger, he's holding strong right there in 6th. I think he's a dangerous guy for this race. Always a threat to win on a road course. He can make some hay today.
He's good on all the road courses, but this has been his weakest one if you had to pick one of the tracks that we run at.
All right, let's check with our crew chief, Larry McReynolds.
Let's take a look at the Sonoma race analysis, Mike. 110 laps, 219 miles. As Clint mentioned, we still have stages. They are 25, 30, and 55, but no caution at the stage ends. Pit road speed 40 miles per hour. The fuel window is 40 to 44 laps. 5 sets of Goodyear tires. Mike, do I do it in 2 stops, 3 stops, maybe even 4?
Well, thanks, Larry. And the elimination of stage breaks creates a lot of different strategies available for these teams. Turn 11, you're down to 33 miles an hour in the middle of that corner. And then accelerating all the way up and into turn 1 from there. Then you climb the hill to 2. Go downhill into turn 3, and there's some new asphalt, Jamie, in turn 3 where they've done some patching and repaving right at the apex of that corner. Give you a little more grip, a little more run there.
Yeah, and Mike, I was shocked. Clint and I did go take a lap around the track this morning. I let Clint drive, shockingly, and we couldn't believe how rough the track has gotten over the last few years. I know they had some erosion issues in certain parts of the track. You talk about that new pavement, but overall, the whole track, a huge bump right here on the exit of turn 4, just as you get to that wall. You know, Clint, if you're Denny Hamlin right now, you're wanting to go, but the key to this race and what we're going to talk about the entire race is just managing those rear tires. So Denny Hamlin right now maybe could run a little quicker, but he's just managing that gap based on where Christopher Bell is behind him.
We are told Daniel Suarez thinks he might have missed a shift, and if that happened, overrev the engine, that could be trouble. Whoa! Larry Mack tells us 9,700 RPM that thing hit.
I can tell you, his concern. You couldn't understand him. At any time you hear that engine at 9,700 RPM, that's extremely high. Off the pace, 20 spots. Daniel Suarez is off the pace, last year's winner.
Well, and just to be clear, you don't necessarily miss a shift in this car with that sequential shifter like we maybe had before. It's that you just continue to go the wrong direction, maybe with the shift.
Over rev on a downshift.
Larry?
So remember, guys, he ran the Xfinity Series race, which is that 4-speed H pattern, and he did that 9,700. He went the first gears when he did it.
Whoa. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's over rev on a downshift. That's the only thing that'll blow an engine through the rev limiter. You know, when you're going up through the gears, the rev limiter is there to protect the engine. But if you have the inertia of the powertrain against it, it'll over rev right through that rev limiter.
And you know, Clint, we talk about the advantage of running the Xfinity Series race yesterday for a lot of these guys. Eric Almirola wins that. You get the track time, but the cars are different now compared to what we had a few years ago.
Riding along with Daniel Suarez, now you're sitting there, you know what happened. You heard it. As a race car driver,
paranoid now.
It's the worst, most god-awful sound you've ever heard in your life. Look at this. Door-to-door beating on each other.
That is William Byron making the pass.
Right side, right side, right side.
Let's go back to Daniel Suarez. And in an H-pattern box with a floor shifter, second to third, you push to the right and away from you. If you do that in this box, you downshift.
Listen to this. So that was on an upshift. See, he was trying to shift it in another gear, and that's exactly what he did. He was thinking going second to third across that gate, just exactly like Larry told you in that Xfinity race yesterday. That's what he did all day long. When he pushes that baby forward, she downshifts into first.
And muscle memory.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was going to say. He ran the Xfinity race yesterday, and you just do so much of this off just a reaction, right, Clint? You get so used to what gear you're in, first lap in this car, and just simply made a mistake. But I am 100% with you. I'm paranoid right now. Like, what's that engine going to do? Is it going to make it the rest of the race?
No, it's the only thing you can think about. You can't even hit your marks because all you're thinking about is the sound of that motor, just waiting for it to go south.
Through turn 8A and into 9 comes Denny Hamlin, leading Christopher Bell by 0.7 of a second. On this date in 2006, Hamlin got his first ever win in the NASCAR Cup Series. 17 years later to the day, he is looking for his 50th career victory.
Very impressed with these Toyotas so far. Extremely strong. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see them lined up. Think about, look at McDowell. Michael McDowell in the 34 and Buescher in the 17. These guys are the guys that you just aren't accustomed to hearing about. They are the real deal on this racetrack.
5 laps complete. Hamlin leading by not quite a full second.
Grab a nice cold Coke, sugar, and buckle up. You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
NASCAR on Fox is sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? 7 laps complete in Sonoma. Denny Hamlin's led them all. But look at this. Ryan Preece, who won the ARCA race on Friday, to the inside of Bubba Wallace. You talk about curb hopping. What has he got, a lift under that thing?
But it just shows you how rigid those cars are. See how that wheel didn't fall out of the wheel well whatsoever. Very rigid with these cars, and that's why you hear them talk about staying off these curbs. If you hit those curbs, it throws it for a loop. Look at yesterday. I think the big reason why you didn't see the number 9 of Chase Elliott up closer to the front, hit that curb a little bit too hard and 4 cost him his lap.
The Toyota top performers.
It's easy to find, Mike.
Yeah, they're all in the top 5.
Yeah.
That's right.
As you watch, we ride into turn 11 right here. You see those tires on the inside. They'll slowly keep working those tires in because the grip is on that paint. NASCAR has the bottom of that mark, but those drivers all with the door of the car will keep working those tires in lap after lap.
Well, and remind you, it's on the blind side of your race car. When you're turning that right-handed corner, you're as close as you can to those tires because that's where the grip is on that paint. You put your right side tires on that paint, and it not only helps you turn, it helps with forward drive up off the corner. And I think that only gets better. It's like that's fresh paint, Jamie, and then as it starts to get rubber burned into it, it's like adhesive and is super sticky.
And it's the same thing right here as we get down into turn 4. You watch the exit, you see the paint where that Toyota is painted all the red. As that black lays down, the grip level gets really high, but if you get beyond that, no grip.
Martin Truex is the biggest mover. He's come from 8th up to 3rd, and he is closing on Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell.
Doesn't surprise me. Always extremely fast out here.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys. You talk about managing the rear tires, protecting the rear tires. Martin Truex Jr., veteran, been around forever. Won here 3 times. You mentioned he's as good at that as anybody.
Now, William Byron started way deep in the field, but he's picked up 6 spots. Regan.
That's right, Mike. He's been on the move early on. Crew Chief Rudy Fugo told me that yesterday they did not like this race car at all. He threw everything at this car overnight that they could based on the rules, swung for the fences. Well, so far it appears that he did pretty good with that swinging for the fences because that race car, according to William Byron, is good right now as he continues to move forward. Jamie?
Just an update on the 99 of Daniel Suarez after that missed shift. He went from 10th to 29th, and he thought maybe his engine was going south. Seems to be okay right now, and his crew chief, Travis Mack, said, all right, that just gives us an opportunity to be more aggressive on strategies. Only made up 2 spots since then, Mike.
Thanks, Jamie. Denny Hamlin's lap times have fallen off almost 2 seconds from his fastest lap on lap 2, and Christopher Bell has caught him.
Yeah, and I've been watching Denny's lap times. It seemed like if he needed to, he could gap Christopher Bell out a little bit. But that last lap, he had a rough lap, and we get to lap 10, Clint. It makes me think about at some point in the run, your car slides, and you never get that grip back, and maybe Denny Hamlin's finally hit that point.
Well, it takes me to the exit of 7, right? Exit of 7's where you put the power down, the forward drive up off. That's where you spin the tires, if you will. But if you keep spinning those tires, then all of a sudden through the S's, like we talked about earlier, you start getting laterally loose because you wore those rear tires out on the exit of 7.
I'm going to tell you, they got to watch those Truex. He is running those top 2 down. He was able to get by Reddick a few laps ago. You see right here riding with him, getting a good straight drive off of turn 11. He's catching both Bell and Denny Hamlin right now.
Tyler Reddick in 4th place. He's now 3.6 back. And right on his tail, Ty Gibbs. The rookie was quite a surprise here in round 1 of qualifying. Had a good enough lap. He didn't have to try again, as many others did, and advanced to the final round. Says he really enjoys road racing, in this place in particular.
You heard that car bottom out on the rub blocks underneath the car when he went up and over that curb on 3A.
Then A.J. Allmendinger in 6th place, first of the Chevys, actually first of the non-Toyotas. Michael McDowell in yellow right behind him, the first Ford in the race.
Business is picking up right there with that whole group. I think that McDowell's starting to run them down a little bit, starting to stack them up a little bit. I think you're going to see some racing going on. McDowell, I think Buescher's extremely strong. Allmendinger there, Reddick in that group. And I'm really pumped about Ty Gibbs. I think he's doing a phenomenal job at this race, managing and learning from those teammates.
Suarez trying to take the spot back from Eric Jones at turn 7. This is for 26th. 11 laps complete. Denny Hamlin so far has led them all from the pole. Six of America's best drivers and thousands of fans have come here for one thing: wine and some great racing, like Martin Truex taking the low line on Christopher Bell to take 2nd place.
Textbook pass. There's 7 right there, just like we talked about passing zone. He'd been hounding his teammate Christopher Bell for a while. But how about Gibbs? Unbelievable. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and Denny Hamlin was able to get away from Christopher Bell right before Truex got by him.
Watching for our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, powering the race from green to checkered flag and every mile in between. Goodyear, more driven.
You know, I mentioned Hamlin getting away, Clint. We're going to find out what he has right now, because I think he's been managing that lead with what he needed to with Christopher Bell. But Truex has been able to match his lap times, if not a little bit better. So we'll see if Hamlin can push that car just a little bit more.
I like one thing Christopher Bell did. He had Truex shadowing him for more than a full lap. but Bell chose the 1 point on the track to let Truex by where it wouldn't slow down either one of them.
To lose the least amount of time. Right. Yeah, that's so key. And they're teammates, right? So they are going to work a little bit better together. And they're also going to work better at the early stages of the race. When you get down to the final part of the race, maybe not so friendly.
I think you're going to see that gap in between Truex and Hamlin shrink very fast. Obviously slowed him up a little bit on that pass, not much, just like you said, very efficient pass when he passed his teammate Christopher Bell, but this Truex is here. He's got an extremely fast race car, could be his third.
The one thing that we see with all these guys in the front, all the Toyotas, they're not having to use the curbs to make the car turn. We talked about that you couldn't be so aggressive on the curbs. So the one thing that the drivers will do, especially right here in turn 7, you see Michael McDowell, Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, all those guys get up on that curb. It's to help that car rotate and get a straight drive on exit.
Well, you just said it. You rattled them all off, and I think a big reason you're seeing that, starting to see these guys getting held up a little bit. I think this 9 car, Chase Elliott, good on the long run. Starting to get really close on the back bumper. Look for some passes among these cars right here.
Talked to Chase Elliott this morning, and he told us that the reason you can't curb hop in the fast corners here is this car. Here comes Chase to the inside, looking at Buescher, going to close the door and get a little tap there at 35 miles an hour.
But that's the frustrating part about these passing zones. Now you got to wait all the way around to the next opportunity in 7 before you do that. You got to set that back up.
I love that you said that. That's exactly right. There's 2 key places to pass here, and if you can't get it done in turn 11, you spend the entire rest of this lap trying to set them up, as you say, to get back over to turn 7.
So we're saying Chase told us in the fast corners, like say turn 2, where everybody used to really pop front end, pop wheelies with these cars just about. He says you need to stay off the curbs because this car is so dependent on keeping that rear diffuser close to the ground for its downforce. There's a bad one right there, the inside of 4.
That's the worst one. Over the years, you see all the cool shots of the cars way up in the air. That was all off of turn 4. Not the case anymore. See that Christopher Buescher getting loose into the corner. That's what you're looking for when you got a guy in front of you starting to put the pressure on him. Now he's got to set him up for off of 10 into 11.
And Clint, as we look at Chase Elliott at the back of this pack, there's 4 or 5 cars all stacked up in front of him. It's going to be hard to pass. I'm immediately hoping that my crew chief is going to pit me just a lap or 2 earlier because we know how much tire fall off there. Here's 2.5, 3 seconds at the end of the stage. Hopefully, I mean, I would even give up the stage points if I'm Chase Elliott, knowing that I've got to win to get into the playoffs. Do what we have to do to win the race.
Still not going to get it done.
Just not close enough. Larry? Whoa,
you know, Mike, I talked about the strategy, and I think really talking to crew chiefs last night throughout the week, everybody's kind of thinking a 3-stop strategy, which would be somewhere around 28, 30 laps a run. But to Jamie's point, I think once we get to about lap 23, 24, right in there, if you're on back in the pack, you're going to try to leapfrog these guys by getting there a little early and taking advantage of those 4 fresh tires.
Brad Keselowski pitted out of 25th.
Well, and exactly what Larry said. No chance of him getting stage points. So go ahead and pit. Try to cycle ahead. It's hard to pass, but that's an easy way to pass, knowing how much faster you're going to run when you pull back out on fresh tires.
Interesting battle here. Cup rookie Ty Gibbs against veteran road racer Michael McDowell.
This is where you start separating, you know, you start realizing what you have. This is where a balance becomes so important in your car. You can't be too tight. You can't be too loose. Starting to see Buescher sliding that rear end into the corner, hustling that car because he's feeling the pressure from behind him. This is where you really start struggling.
Every driver in the top 5 has won a road course race in the Cup Series. 12 combined winners among the top 5, led by Denny Hamlin.
Before Bass Pro Shops even had a name. Before we sold boats and gear for hunting and camping. Before the 2 shelves of tackle in the back of the liquor store. Before the early mornings and the short nights. Before the first road trip, even the first tournament. Before all of that, there was fishing and there was Dad. Thanks, Dad, for for always making the time to take me fishing.
NASCAR on Fox is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Round out your protection with life, phone, and pet health insurance. And by the Credit One Bank NASCAR American Express card. 19 laps complete in Sonoma. Denny Hamlin has led them all. Here's the update on the Coca-Cola family of drivers with Chase Elliott 9th. Joey Logano up 3 spots to 14th from the start. Austin Dillon in 15th, and Daniel Suarez, after that missed shift, back to 24th. Now pit stops have begun. Here is the 4th place pass down into the dive bomb zone, turn 11, and that is A.J. Allmendinger taking the spot from Tyler Reddick to break up that Toyota top 5. Pit stops have begun. Brad Keselowski in and out without losing a lap, but Ryan Blaney made his pit stop and was too fast exiting. He'll have to make a pass at pit road speed. Jamie Little.
Well, update on Kyle Larson. Yesterday in practice, he looked to be the man to beat. He was on a mission, but he had a little hiccup in qualifying and started back in 16th. Well, he's made up 6 positions so far, and on the radio, he's asking his crew chief, Cliff Daniels, what the 11 and Denny Hamlin is doing and his lap times. They're letting him know that Denny is not falling off much. He's really good on the long run, but you see Larson now just turned the 2nd fastest lap so far.
Yeah, that last lap, Jamie, Larson was 0.2 quicker than the leader. Martin Truex has closed to within about 3.5 seconds of Denny Hamlin.
Hear how fast he grabbed that ship.
He's using third at turn 2 now. He's just more worried about getting off the corner and slows his speed initially. What are you talking about? It's turn 2? And actually gives up a little more speed entry to you, just focuses on getting off the corner. And he's not really using any curb in there either. Either. It's loose. I'll keep trying. Much better that time. I felt better.
Well, at least we agree, right?
Right. So I heard him short shift off to 7. Once these tires start wearing out, you can't put the throttle down. One of the aids is to go ahead and short shift that thing, keep those RPM low, keep the spinning the tires. Veteran move.
Kyle Busch, last week's winner at St. Louis, coming to pit road, and these are scheduled stops.
I would say it's one of the sketchiest pit roads to get onto because you come off the racetrack and you run that long curve, and pit road speed doesn't start until you get all the way around the corner.
A lot of juice through there.
Woo, it's scary.
4 laps to go to the end of stage 1. Denny Hamlin has been out front the whole way as we take you Fox side by side.
There's a new breed of Hornet sweeping the nation.
They're so powerful and fast and unlike anything I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
These Hornets are not natural. They're engineered. They cannot be domesticated.
Are you picking this up?
Let me feel your sting!
Taking the country by swarm. The all-new Dodge Hornet.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere? And it needs to run smooth, like super, 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 super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women. We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again? Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Being a NASCAR fan just got even more rewarding with the free Fan Rewards loyalty program. Earn reward points and redeem them for merchandise, tickets, VIP experiences, and so much more. Earn points from the track or at home. Check in on your phone, complete your profile, or play fantasy racing to score your first points. Join and start earning today. Visit NASCAR.com/rewards to learn more now.
Right now at Ashley, explore flexible payment options on top mattress brands. Bring home a new Tempur-Pedic or Purple mattress set starting at $43 per month, or a Beauty Rest Black mattress set starting at $45 per month with 0% interest for 60 months. Only at Ashley.
Okay, cut it.
Ray Magliozzi here. When you need parts, eBay Motors ensures a guaranteed fit. Let's see, you'll need headlights and a bumper. At least you can skip the car wash. Just go to eBay Motors. The check means a guaranteed fit. Let's ride.
It's anything but slow at Michigan International Speedway. Come be a part of the action. Get your tickets now at mispeedway.com.
When we met, I thought to myself, she must be heaven sent. Oh yeah, now I gotta have a word with you. Let me get a word or two.
Scheduled pit stops for Harvick and Logano. 2 of the Hendrick Chevys have been in. Elliott and Larson joined a lap later by Byron. So a lot of these green flag pit stops early, but some teams continue to stay out at 23 laps. One of those is Michael McDowell's.
So you know there's guys starting to pit. They're probably going to do a 4-stop strategy that is not faster based on our fall off. We got good long run pace. Stay on our plan. Good job.
Great information, because it's going to be frustrating for Michael McDowell when he sees this going on. Like, why aren't we pitting? So for your crew chief to tell you that, take a deep breath. You're like, all right, we've got a game plan. We know what's best for our car.
They also, look at this, you're coming to the stage in. Mind you, remember, no stage break, but there are stage points. So only 2 to go here. This is a very valid conversation. We start talking about Hamlin, Truex, Bell still on that racetrack.
Yeah, honestly, guys, the drivers that started pitting about lap 22, like Chase Elliott, Larson, William Byron, Chastain, I don't think they're on a 4-stop strategy. I just think they wanted to make sure and get in there a little early on their 3-stop strategy.
I do too, and I think they're going to leapfrog Hamlin and Truex, or at least catch them. That's the play there, right, Larry?
Absolutely, absolutely. But I do think we've got the play to what Travis Peterson just told Michael McDowell, what you guys said. We got stage points staring at us right now here in another lap. And we know how important those are, especially if Hamlin can win the stage, still gets that 1 playoff point.
But these 2 we're looking at right there, those 2 teammates, they're after this win. They made that mistake last year. Cliff Daniels went for that stage 1 win, got it, and didn't get the job done at the end of the race. These boys right here with these Hendrick cars, they're after the win. You know the 9 car, that's all it takes. He is a win and you're in scenario.
Final lap of stage 1. There will be no green and white checkered flag on road courses this year, but stage points will be awarded at the end of lap 25 and 55.
We saw Larson drop a wheel off right there. Lucky to catch that car.
Last time Denny Hamlin won stage 1 was Kansas, where he went on to win the race. Hamlin has led more laps today than Toyota led in total on road courses in 2022. Here he comes, crosses the line, and banks 10 championship points, and as Jamie pointed out, that 1 playoff point for winning the stage. Truex 2nd, Bell 3rd, Allmendinger, here's McDowell 5th, Reddick 6th, Buscher crosses in 7th, Gibbs, and then it'll be Bowman and Stenhouse should get the final stage point, and does.
Well, you know these guys will be coming now. They got the stage points. The task at hand is done. They got to get pitted now, because these 9, the Chase Elliott and Larson, those guys that short pitted them, are catching them fast.
Well, and when you look at Denny Hamlin from where he started the race to where he's running right now, it's over 3 seconds a lap. So Larson's pitted 3 laps earlier. He's going to make up 9 seconds on the leader. He was about 14 behind at the time, so he's going to be pretty close to Denny when they cycle through these stops.
25 laps caution free in Sonoma. Hamlin has led them all.
I think you'll see them pit. See him coming through.
This time if you can. This time if you can.
Yep. Eric Jones, Eric Almirola, who won the Xfinity race yesterday, gets a stop. So does Ty Dillon. In and out for Justin Haley.
Here you come. You see Truex on pit road. Now keep in mind, you see 11 on your track map and the 9 up here in 7.
Regan.
The 19 of Martin Truex getting a lot of details from the team as to where he's losing time. You heard him on the radio earlier. The car too loose right now, wants an adjustment for that. Jamie.
Denny Hamlin in the 11. That car was really good on the long run. That's what they expected to be the case today. A 4-tire stop here. Not much feedback from Denny Hamlin, who has dominated and led every lap so far today.
Allmendinger in as well. Takes about 45 seconds to go the length of pit road at pit road speed. Yellow line entering turn 11 to yellow line exiting at turn 1. And Hamlin is away. 45 seconds.
And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be somewhere right in there. It's where they're going to come out. Keep an eye on that intervals with these guys on the pylon.
That group races their way off pit road and back into battle. Chase Elliott and Hamlin coming out of 4 and headed for 7. And the first round of pit stops is pretty well completed. 28 laps complete in Sonoma. Let's take a look at today's Credit One Bank ones to watch. Who are you watching, Clint?
Got one for you. Chase Elliott's my guy. I'm telling you, started 10th, was fast yesterday, struggled a little bit in turn 4, cost him some speed, but they closed the gap. Already running 3rd, Chase Elliott.
Yeah, I'm going to look at Martin Truex Jr. Started back in 8th, has worked his way up to 2nd. He made that adjustment on the last pit stop. I think he can get by Denny Hamlin, and he's won here 3 times before.
True. Denny Hamlin is looking for a championship, and the way to win that is win them all. He won the pole. That was a bit of a surprise yesterday, and he has not been passed on the racetrack yet. Larry and Trevor.
Yeah, Mike, I've got my eye on A.J. Allmendinger. Qualified 5th, finished 4th in that stage. He seems to have good long-run speed, and even with 11 races left to go in the regular season, he's almost already in a must-win situation.
Yeah, I've got to take another road course veteran in Michael McDowell. I have not seen him slip that 34 car yet. Said he was going to run at 90%, take care of it all day. So far, he's doing that, and he got stage points in that first stage.
And they are our Credit One Bank ones to watch after 29 laps. And after pit stops, Hamlin and Truex got out in front of Elliott and Larson. Larson's been passed by Christopher Bell. A.J. Allmendinger in 6th. Kyle Busch, Michael McDowell, Tyler Reddick, Chris Busch are all holding top 10 spots.
You just said it, and it caught me off guard. Christopher Bell motored right by Larson, and watch it right here off at 10. He might get the job done on the 9 car, Chase Elliott.
Yeah, Bell's the 2nd fastest car on the track. The fastest car on the track, though, is who's catching Denny Hamlin right now. Martin Truex Jr. since that pit, whatever they changed on that car, it has come to life, and he is catching Denny Hamlin half second a lap right now.
Well, they picked a good race to sponsor. These Toyotas are extremely strong. Doesn't matter who you put in front of them, they make pretty quick work out of them. I'm impressed with Christopher Bell right there. Past Larson, I thought he was extremely strong. I think the Hendrick cars, if they have something for them, I think it's got to come on a long run.
Well, the Toyotas were at one point early on 1 through 5, but Reddick has now dropped to 9th. His car fell off the pace a little bit on worn tires, as did that of Ty Gibbs, who's currently 11th. Gibbs was 8th when that pit cycle started and now comes out in 11th spot. Regan?
Well, Mike, you guys talking about Christopher Bell and the performance he's having so far on these new tires. Earlier on the old tires, he was complaining about forward drive with the car, a small adjustment for that, and his crew chief told him to make sure he saves some tire this run because they are going to run 4 laps longer than what they did last time. So a little insight into their strategy there.
And we talk about the amount of fall off at this racetrack. Christopher Bell pitted later than both of the Hendrick cars. That's part of the reason he's so quick right now.
All right, traffic ahead. Andy Lally and Grant Enfinger both in one-off drives here. Enfinger filling in for Noah Gregson, who's out with a concussion, and the leaders are just about to catch them, and they could be a factor in this.
Once a racer, hey, you've been on that racetrack, you know what that is, and you're exactly right. These lappers are going to be tricky for the leader. Denny Hamlin's leading. He has to make sure that he catches those lappers at the right spot. Doesn't open the door up for Truex to pounce.
Well, they're going to catch him in the S's, and that's not the best spot.
Well, there's just no way to get out of the way. If you're a lapper right there and Denny catches you, you know, especially off a 10, it's going to open the door up and be right in the lap of Truex. Here comes his opportunity.
No, but listen, if I'm Denny Hamlin, I think about who's behind me. First off, it's Martin Truex Jr., not known for roughing somebody up, and he's also my teammate. I think Truex plays it cool right here. He's obviously wants to use them as a pig, but Denny Hamlin knows that he's not going to do anything to jeopardize either of their races.
The only thing we've seen all day long we're learning here is passing is so hard to do. There's no way I'm letting that car around me without a fight.
Here he comes, Truex to the inside. Hamlin slams the door and then goes wide.
Yeah, and so perfect move by Truex right there. He had no intentions of getting beside Denny Hamlin. He showed him the nose, and the spotters are in a weird position right there. They can't see if he's there or not. So Truex kind of faked him out a little bit. And you see right now he's going to be in the preferred position because he's going to be in the inside of turn 2.
Right there.
Quarter, bumper, clear. Trying to cross you back here.
Look at this. Still fighting hard on the outside. Denny Hamlin. This is exactly what I said. You can't afford to give these positions up.
Blind rise at the top of the hill there. Turn 3A. And Truex to the lead.
Still have the problem with the lappers.
And they haven't caught them yet. They've passed each other twice.
Off turn 7, Martin Truex, your new leader after Denny Hamlin led the first 32 laps here in Sonoma. Week 9 of the USFL coming up next on Fox. A North Division showdown. If the Philadelphia Stars beat the New Jersey Generals, they clinch a playoff spot. If not, well, there's 3 teams alive, and they all have a path to clinch in Week 10. So tune in next on Fox.
It's going to be a good one right there. You a General or you're a Star?
I'm on your team, Clint, whatever team that is. But what are you, General or Star? Actually, I'm a Stallion. Birmingham Stallion. That's my team.
There was 2 picks.
Yeah,
It wasn't a Stallion.
I don't care. You still get to pick your favorite team.
Martin Truex leading at 35 laps here. He passed Denny Hamlin 3 laps ago. Let's check with Larry McReynolds for our Guaranteed Fit, sponsored by eBay Motors.
Yeah, Mike, it'll be Martin Truex Jr. and Sonoma. Martin has 4 career road course wins, including 3 right there at Sonoma. His last 4 Sonoma races, 3 top 3 finishes, including 2 of those wins. He has led the most laps in 4 of the last 9 Sonoma races. He has led a total of 213 laps at Sonoma. That's second all-time to Jeff Gordon. This could be the eBay Motors Guaranteed Fit for Martin to get his 4th Sonoma win and his 2nd win of 2023.
Thanks, Larry. Let's check with Jamie Little.
An update on Kyle Larson running 5th right now. Cliff Daniels told him they're going to run 6 or 7 laps longer this time out, so about 28 to 29 laps. He also told him that he's faster than Chase Elliott and Christopher Bell ahead of him. He said you can get him through turns 2 through 7. So a lot of information coming off the pit box, but he sounds very pleased with the effort so far.
So, Mike, let's talk about Elliott and Larson. They short pitted, right? 4 laps earlier than really anybody in the top 10. And they have cycled to the front. Now, their lap times aren't as good right now. They're struggling just a little bit in relation to those cars, but they gained what they wanted. They need the caution stuff all right. They're going to have to run a little bit longer this time, but Larson had a really good car in the long run. We know Chase Elliott did too. So they used a little bit of strategy there. They've got their track position now, and they're going to try to maintain it.
They gained the positions. Obviously, track position, and you're right, they're going to struggle with holding on to that track position at the back of it, but they gained the hard-to-come-by track position, or positions on that racetrack, the passes, if you will.
Now, how about A.J. Allmendinger, who is right behind Chase Elliott, one of the best road racers in this series? Is he holding station? Is he trying to charge past these guys to the front? What's Allmendinger do here?
Well, Allmendinger's got the fresher tires, and he knows that. His crew chief has said, hey, we have 4-lap fresher tires, go get those guys. And he's been catching them fairly quick. But we've seen this entire race how hard it is to pass. And Clint has been talking about you got to be good off of turn 4 to make the pass into 7, or you got to be good off of turn 10 to make the pass into 11. If Allmendinger's car is not good in those areas, it makes passing those guys so much harder.
You know where the easiest place to pass them is?
Pit road.
Yep. When they're there and you're not.
Yeah, and so listen, we talked about Elliott and Larson. They were 13 or 14 seconds back of the leader. You see they're 8 or 9 now. Anything they gain in that is a bonus for them. So they have come out way ahead in this pit cycle.
It's the positions. The track position's one thing, the time on the racetrack, but in the event a caution comes out or whatever, I mean, you literally went from 9th and 10th place to 3rd and 4th, 4th and 5th. I mean, that was a huge gain.
All right, so in Clint's Super 6 contest for 10 grand, which driver will have the better finish at the end of the race, and by how many positions? Will it be Kevin Harvick, currently 19th, or Brad Keselowski, 22nd?
Ooh, down to the wire. When I saw that 6-car Brad Keselowski right off the bat, I was like, well, that's an easy answer. Kevin Harvick. Now he's running back down.
Kevin Harvick in his final Sonoma appearance. Trying to put another W up on the board for the number 4 and Stuart Haas. Martin Truex Jr. and Toyota in command right now.
Driver! Stop!
a little early this morning here in Sonoma, didn't they?
If you're going to do it right. That guy did it right.
Yep. Well done. Adam Devine giving the command. All right, let's show you our look at Sonoma Raceway from all of our technology. And there are the marching ants. The one that's circled on the right is your leader, Martin Truex, of course.
Absolutely. You know, when you're 40 laps in on a green racetrack, green, all the way through, we've had green flag pit stops already. You know, where is everybody? You got Gibbs down here. That's it. That's your 10th place guy. You've got William Byron right there, your 15th place guy. Priest right here, that's your 20th place guy. They're all over this racetrack. I think the name of the game, I like what Hamlin is catching. Like, he's holding speed with the leader, Truex, right here. I think that whoever comes out, we say this all the time, if he can beat him out of the pits, I don't think he lets Truex back around him. Well, this pit area, when old Larry Mack puts me in here, I want him to give me that track position. Whatever decision he makes on pit road, that's what I want him to do. Get me out in front of that guy.
What I've seen with Denny and Martin is that Truex is a little bit better on the short run, really short run. Denny's better in the middle of a stage, and then Truex again is better towards the end of that. And I think those guys, and I said it at the very beginning, they're pacing themselves. Truex could probably go a little bit harder at the beginning, but you're just trying to conserve tires because there is so much fall off here. And Mike, as they catch lap traffic, you need more tire because you have to put your car in a different position. We saw how hard it was for both those guys to get by the lap cars earlier.
I'm watching this knot of cars, 4 cars here, 3rd through 7th, and Michael McDowell trying to run them down, the first forward in the race. But these 4 have kept pretty close company. Here comes McDowell. He's going to be there in a minute.
Goes back to what you were saying, though, managing those runs. You see Chase Elliott, he really took off. Him and Christopher Bell took off and left Larson. Now all of a sudden Larson's run them back down. His speed is in a long run car, just like that car, Michael McDowell, right behind them.
And I loved what Trevor said. Trevor picked him as credit ones to watch. He's like, listen, I talked to McDowell earlier. He's going to run at 90% today. And I think that's a great plan going into this race until you get down to the end, because we talk about opportunities. Michael McDowell's won the Daytona 500. He's always a threat at super speedways, but he's also always a threat when he comes to these races. This is his chance to get in the playoffs.
You hear him go over that bump. Jamie told us about the exit of 4 and a massive bump over there as you come off of that curb, and you can hear him hitting the chip.
Behind them, Chris Buescher just got past Tyler Reddick. You may have seen that at the top of your screen. That'll change 8th place. Ty Gibbs holding down the top 10 spot.
And Reddick's been a surprise today. He dominated at COTA earlier this year, Clint, and we thought yesterday it looked like he had a great car, but it has been a little bit of a struggle for the 45 car today.
Well, he's dominated ever since we've went to this new Gen X car. He's been the name of the game on these road courses. Struggles at this racetrack, though, for sure.
I love being able to see his eyes in the car. You see him trying to look around the corner. You see him now trying to get a straight drive on exit. You're always looking ahead. Your shift lights you actually base on just kind of your peripheral vision. Right here as we go up into turn 1, you'll hear him lift right there, give it a little bit throttle, drive up the corner. He's trying to get as far to the left. There's a little hole right there that you're going to try to get in. You then try to get your tires on that curve. It puts a little bit of load onto the outside tires.
In front, don't need to waste any time with them.
And that's the crew chief, but I'm trying.
Yeah, don't waste any time.
Trust me, I'm not going to waste any time.
Now Kyle Busch just pitted. You see the right of your screen from 11th spot. He was one of the first, not the first round of cars to pit in the first round, but first of that second wave of cars to come to pit road.
How many times have we come here and seen Truex Jr. when he decides to go out and lead some laps here? He is so dangerous. Just puts her on cruise control and keeps finding lap time, lap after lap.
He's got 3 wins here, and but for Tony Stewart on the final lap, getting his final win of his career, Truex might have 4 here. 43 laps complete, 67 to go in Wine Country, California. Martin Truex out front. NASCAR on Fox is sponsored by Ford, built for America. 45 laps complete, 65 to go. Martin Truex out front of Denny Hamlin. That lead now less than a second. And Hamlin had closed it up to about 0.6 of a second, and then Truex pulled away. Larry, what are we looking at for pit stops as we go forward here?
Yeah, honestly, we've completed 46 laps. To make this thing work on 3 stops, you're probably looking at about 48 to 50, about 2 to 4 laps from now. But who's here to try to win a stage? You have to go to lap 55 to make that happen. But I think we're getting to the point of the race, the way this race looks, you better start focusing on what it's going to be, what it's going to take to be to that checkered flag first.
Thanks, Larry. There's Kevin Harvick in here at lap 47. Kyle Busch has already made his second stop. Kyle Larson, we're hearing, has been told on the radio to watch Chase Elliott and pit when he does. So that's a little different.
I can handle that.
Yep.
Yeah, and
right
look,
in front of me.
As we look at this group of cars right here, from Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, all the way back to Allmendinger, they're so close together. They're within a second and a half of each other. If Allmendinger can pit 1 lap before Christopher Bell does, he will cycle out in front of him. And we talk about the fall off. There's 3 seconds of fall off. But when you cycle through those pit stops, there's only 2 or 3 tenths different for those first few laps. So you gain so much on the front side or the back side of that and don't lose it on the front side of the stop.
Did you see at turn 11 there? How do you find a better line through the corner? Move the stacks of tires.
I've been watching it for the last couple laps. You can see right here where they were supposed to be, and now they're not there anymore. Somebody's hit him. You see the mark on that tire. See the mark on this one as well. You start moving those in. The grip is on this paint right here, and the closer you can get your tires on there, that's the name of the game. Man, I don't know. I think we need a caution to move that back over there.
Kyle Larson lost 2 spots that last lap. He got passed twice.
Yeah, he's fading at the end of this run.
You know,
he let Michael McDowell go. He saw McDowell catch him, making up so much time. And, you know, this is a road course, but Clint, you kind of race it like a Darlington, right? We talk about guys wanting to let them go to in the place that costs each of you the least amount of lap time.
Well, McDowell, he not only let McDowell around him, so did Chase Elliott. McDowell on the move.
Jamie, how about the 5?
And Larson just came on the radio and said, hey, they're on better tires than us. I'm fine, but I had to let him go. And also, they originally told the 5 of Larson to pit with about 5 laps to go in this stage. Well, I went over and checked with Alan Gustafson for Chase Elliott. He said, we want to run longer than that. So I'm not sure if they're planning on staying out until the end of the stage. We'll just have to watch, Mike.
Okay. Sounds to me like they're playing games. They don't want anyone to know when they're going to pit.
So Truex has now opened up 1.2 seconds on Denny Hamlin. That group led by Christopher Bell. They're about 13 seconds back of the leader after 48. Saturday on Fox, baseball's most iconic rivalry takes center stage. The Yankees battle Rafael Devers and the Red Sox, or you'll see the Rays take on the Padres. Catch it all Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox. For the game in your area, check local listings. Well, right after Ross Chastain had pitted from 12th, look on the right of your screen at Zane Smith's pit stop. They roll a tire over to the wall from the right front, and it doesn't get caught. Gets an assist as the car pulls out of the pits. That goes out into a danger zone. Caution waves.
The key is the next car around here you're going to see is Ross Chastain. He was on pit road. Opportunity strikes here for some guys. Finally a caution, Jamie.
Justin Haley will get the free pass on this, the very first caution flag of the day. So that erases Truex's almost 2-second lead on the field.
Literally right in the middle of all the conversation here in Banner, back and forth on the radio. We're coming, it's time, and all of a sudden here comes the caution comes out.
Yeah, and you hate that if you're one of those guys in the lead, not just because it bunches the field up, but because they're all going to pit under caution now, and you have such a chance of losing so many positions if you have a bad pit stop pitting under caution, because everybody's grouped up. When you pit under green, you have a 3 or 4 second lead, 15 seconds back to 10th place. You can have a slower pit stop and it not cost you as much.
Well, that group from Ross Chastain on back, a bunch of those cars had made their stops under green, including Chastain, Kevin Harvick, and others as it cycled through. There you go. And so you can look at those that have very few laps on their tires and won't be coming under this caution.
Yeah, you see, I mean, clear back to Stenhouse, 6 laps, Austin Dillon 7, Byron 7, Busch 8. I think all those guys stay out right here.
Well, they got to stay out, but it's a huge difference for Ross. I mean, Ross Chastain's could not have been any better to be on pit road, have that caution fall, and he's basically going to be on equal tires to all these leaders.
So here they all come to Regan Smith.
Christopher Bell in the 20 car hurt his right rear tire. Told his team about 5 laps ago he felt like he had really destroyed it too much, losing all lateral grip with that car as well. The 19 of your leader, Martin Truex Jr., that was looser this run than the previous run. He fought loose the previous run, still too loose now. Jamie?
The 9 of Chase Elliott, he said it's handling about the same as it was before. Balance isn't bad, just need to take care of those rear tires. The 11 and Denny Hamlin getting that fresh tear off, said he's trending loose on the long run. Pretty happy with the 11 car.
So it looks like Kyle Busch will be the leader from Joey Logano.
Yeah, and the 11, you saw the front tire changer have an issue right there. It cost him some spots on pit road. The tire changer went down.
Here's your race off pit road, sponsored by Ram. Again, these cars will not be the leaders, but that's how they come off pit road. First caution flag of the day in Sonoma. 9 cars stayed on the racetrack and did not pit. NASCAR on Fox is sponsored by the Credit One Bank NASCAR American Express card. 52 laps complete. We're under caution for a tire that rolled away from pit road. Let's take a look at brake bias on these cars with Larry McReynolds and our Toyota Cutaway car.
Anytime we go road course racing, you hear a driver talk about adjusting front and rear brake bias. Let's go to our Toyota Cutaway car at the Toyota Tech Center and show you exactly what he's doing here. The race car has twin master cylinders, one for the front and one for the rear. The brake bias adjuster knob is right there in the center of the dash. Now, if a car is loose under braking getting in the corner, you can crank a little front brake. If it won't turn getting in the corner under braking, you can crank a little rear brake. You think about it, outside of steering, throttle, and brake, Mike, this is the only other thing that a driver can adjust inside that race car.
Thanks, Larry.
I think this is a good time to, I'm glad you just said that. All right, you've got old tires. You've got all your fast cars, your front runners, Truex, all these guys we've been talking about. They're coming down. They're going to have to make some adjustments. Dive bombs are coming. You're going to have to make these passes and make short time of them. Better make sure those brakes are adjusted right.
Well, this is when all the chaos breaks out. When you have guys cycle to the front that haven't been up there today. You see Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, William Byron, and they're on older tires. They're not going to have the grip that we know Truex or Hamlin is going to have. But those guys have to be patient as well. They've got the best cars. They've got a little better tires. They're just going to have to be patient to get up through there.
All right, the 2023 Toyota Camry TRD is going to make the turn as we get ready to go and ready to restart here in Sonoma. Beautiful day. Beautiful racetrack. In fact, talk with Nelson Hastings, who has been covering racing here since it first started on TV for NASCAR, and we agreed. We've never seen this place so lush, so verdant, just so beautiful here. Very green for June in Sonoma.
This is the opportunity that William Byron was looking for. Started 26, struggling after yesterday's practice. Not a lot of light into the tunnel. Had a fast race car marching up through the field a little bit, very slowly. Now they have the track position. They're at a deficit on tires, but they passed a lot of cars because of that caution right there.
But just like we saw with Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson earlier, they might not hold on to it, but it's going to work out in their favor at the end of this run.
It's a big net gain.
Yep, big net gain.
All right, coming to the Geico restart zone. Finishing up this first caution of the day. And we're back to green. Kyle Busch on the break from Joey Logano, William Byron, and Ross Chastain.
You know, Clint, I thought it was interesting that Kyle chose the inside there, because I always wanted to be on the where Joey Logano is, being on the inside of the next corner if you could race him up the hill. But Kyle got a great restart and was able to get him cleared.
Have to be so careful again if you're Truex right there. You can see him back there, kind of a mid-pack. You know you have the fastest car. Be careful around these guys.
Yeah, and if the one I'm watching, though, is Ross Chastain. We know he has sticker tires. You see him right there beside Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And look at the drive. Let's watch the drive that he's going to have off of turn 7. You see him right behind Joey Logano.
Not anymore.
A little bit of curb. Going to be 3 wide probably going into
You're
turn 8.
going to see it right here. That's the drive you were talking about. Oh, he got run off the racetrack.
Yeah, and that was
Logano shut the door on him.
That was very un-Ross-like. You think he would have stayed in there, but I think he knows the position he's in, and we've talked about it. He needs to now try to get a good run off of turn 10 so he can do the dive bomb down into 11.
He has to pounce on it immediately. Take advantage of those fresh tires, just like you said. Has to happen now.
Out of turn 10. Down into 33-mile-an-hour turn 11. That's Truex to the inside.
Corey, in effect, you see him really stack up right in front of Truex.
And you know, Mike, sometimes when you see the guys run into each other into turn 11, it's not intentional. It's that you're just trying to time that run out. And if the car in front of you doesn't time his out, then that's when you see that contact.
You see, you're riding along with Truex. I was going to say, there's a car on your outside. He slipped, locked the tires up.
That was one on your inside.
The door, yes.
I can tell you the worst thing to hear as a driver is 3 wide and you're in the middle.
Better watch your guard and this McDowell. Let him get around Truex. I don't think you'll ever get him past back. McDowell's car is extremely fast. He's in a good situation here.
You see, watch Truex lock up this tire right here. As soon as that tire locks up, you saw the car, it doesn't turn. It'll stop or it'll turn, but it won't do both of them at the same time.
It's also hard. What do you do to fix that? You let off the brake and try to get the tires.
Makes it even worse.
You can't afford to do that because there's a car that you're fixing a door on the outside.
So here we come to the end of stage 2. Again, no stage breaks on road courses, but they will award stage points and a playoff point to Kyle Busch, who will get his 2nd stage win of the season and his 1st stage win at Sonoma. Busch across the line, winner of stage 2, Logano, Chastain, Byron, Stenhouse, then Dillon, Truex, McDowell, Bell, and Harvick gets the final stage point. 2 stages down, 55 laps to go. Kyle Busch, your stage 2 winner. Welcome back to the Toyota Save Mart 350 on Fox. As Martin Truex has been curb hopping today, he has led 18 laps. Denny Hamlin 33. Kyle Busch has now been out in front for half a dozen. There is your leader from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, powering every lap, every mile, and every victory on the road ahead. Goodyear, more driven.
Truex is not getting up through the field quite as good. You saw him get around Stenhouse there getting into 7, but he's not making very quick time with these passes, is he, Jamie?
No, and Kyle Busch has done a great job hanging on to this lead. He and Logano. It's hard. I thought they would drive up through there a little quicker than they are. The tires only being 4 or 5 laps. I'm with you. I think you got to do that in the first 2 laps. That's where you see that pay the biggest dividends.
So the Xfinity fastest lap we're showing you is times on the last lap that they ran, where your leader's a minute 20:06. You know who has the fastest lap of the day? Corey LaJoie, 90.76 miles per hour. And is number 7. That was back at lap 28. Maybe it's all that shortcutting that's going on.
Well,
I'm not sure it was
moved that tire.
That's not really the way you do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was that lap.
Yeah. It's incredible, though, to see how tough the bodies are on these cars. You know, we talked about the lack of cautions today, and part of that is we used to see body rubs. When there was contact on the track, it would cut a tire down. Something like that with the old car, you did pitted and had to come in to work on that. And, I mean, looking at it, I don't even see any damage to his car right now.
Quite a pack at battle there. Regan?
Well, Mike, you guys have been talking about the 34 on Michael McDowell earlier and how good he is. The strength of that car, the long run, and that's what it was yesterday. He predicted coming into today, if they could get the long runs, that would play out to what they need. The way that caution fell, it sets up for these next 2 runs to be the longest of the day. Travis Peterson told him this is exactly what we want right now. Jamie?
about an update on Ryan Blaney, somebody we haven't even mentioned today. It's just been one of those weekends for this team, the 12 team. They tried something completely different with the setup here because they have struggled on the road courses, and it just hasn't been good. He's loose. He's tight. He's qualified 31st yesterday, running 28th right now. He's the regular season point leader right now, but what a letdown for the Blaney fans right now, Mike.
Well, he had that penalty, too fast exiting on his first pit stop of the day. As we ride with Daniel Suarez in 21st, he's in the midst of a hornet's nest. From Ryan Preece on back in 17th, Ty Gibbs, Brad Keselowski, Bubba Wallace just ahead, then Suarez, LaJoie, and Reddick, and Almirola. That is quite a pack.
I loved hearing what Regan said, that Travis Peterson, the communication that he's given Michael McDowell. He said earlier, he's like, look, they're on a 4-stop. We're going to be on the 3-stop. Don't worry about it. Great communication. Just now, what we heard, he's telling him, like, you're doing exactly what we need. Clint, I loved my crew chief being a little bit of a cheerleader for me and it all working out.
Yeah, they've got it set on kill this weekend. They know this is a big opportunity for them. Michael McDowell does a great job behind the wheel. This is a good track for them, and they're capitalizing. They're the ones that are holding pace with Truex getting up through the field for sure as he tries to make a move on William Byron.
Yeah, and all these guys, you see him racing William Byron right here. They know what a good road racer he is. He has a lot of respect from all these guys. He maybe isn't up front every single week. Obviously, it's been better the last couple of years with this next-gen car. But they know when you get to these road courses that you got to respect him. And listen, he's a really nice guy, right? He's really calm, but he's aggressive inside of the car. He drives as hard as anybody.
And that's the difference. A lot of people come to NASCAR from road racing. They just don't have, let's say, that killer instinct to be aggressive when necessary. Michael McDowell has no such problem in that department.
Jenson Button's a great example. When he came and ran a road course earlier this year at Austin, he's like, my Lord, I can't believe how aggressive everybody is. He doesn't have a lot of experience here. Michael McDowell's been around long enough. He kind of gets how all that works. And you've got to have the respect of those other guys and be able to root on them and gouge on them the same way they're doing to you.
You're talking about Code, and when he ran that race, it did get a little rough there towards the end. They beat him up pretty bad. He's a new guy. You never let the new guy in that easy.
What about that? You see Joey Logano pull down and block Ross Chastain. Felt like he didn't get off turn 10 very good. Chastain, though, doing it the hard way around the outside. Unbelievable.
I love that. You go ahead and block that thing off. I'm going to get to your inside, and now I'm on the inside, and I'm going to try to push you out of the corner. This is going to get interesting when you get up to the top of the hill here.
Well, and
there it is.
Those two guys, same racer. They rough people up, but when they get roughed up, they don't get mad. They don't whine about it. You see Chastain get a little bit loose on the outside.
Look who's there to take the opportunity and maybe get a 2-for-1 here with Truex. Now I'm setting him up for the exit of turn 4 right here. Watch. Let's see if Chastain blocks him getting into 7.
I think
set him up here. Here comes the passing zone. Truex going to shoot to the bottom. Don't wheel hop.
On your left.
The one thing about turn 7 is that you get in there, you can drive up on that curve. Even though it's off of the racetrack, it's so slow that you have a little bit of an escape zone right there if you're Truex. She's cheering him on, wasn't she?
Second slowest corner on the course, turn 7. He'll have another chance down at 11.
You talk about the slowest corner right here. This is a really intense corner, how fast that is. And you see Martin trying to get that run off of turn 10, but just not there. But he wants that position. Chastain knows that he's got a good car and how aggressive he's being right here.
Those tires being gone down there in 11 really opens the door up. You see Truex swoop down to the bottom, hook that bottom, and away he goes.
Yeah, and you almost wonder, did Chastain get his rear tires hot, making that outside move, maybe slipping them off of turn 11 the lap before? Because when he got up here to turn 2, you saw him run wide. It just looks like that car's lost some grip now.
Well, hey, that is the fastest car all weekend long, all day long. You know what I mean? It wasn't no slouch to just pass it.
Well, thanks to Toyota, we're going to stay right here for commercial-free racing from Sonoma as we go Toyota all out. Tyler Reddick trying to rebound here. He is 22nd as he passes Keselowski. Truex third, Bell in 8th, Hamlin 12th among the Toyotas, Gibbs and Wallace 18th and 19th, and then Reddick in 21st.
Truex, big, another dive bomb, getting into 11. Watch him hook this bottom, hard on the throttle. There he goes. Truex to second. You better run and hide, Kurt Busch. Or, excuse me, Kyle Busch. I do that all the time. It's so easy to do. I just saw Kurt this morning. He is here, by the way.
And Truex has cut the lead to 2.5 seconds after that pass as he begins to drive away and chase back to the lead. In the early laps, Toyotas were 1 through 5. Then they got kind of sprinkled through the field up until the caution flag at lap 49.
Just shows you the strength in Truex's car, though. I mean, you know, obviously we covered Hamlin had trouble on pit road, but he hasn't been able to get through them near as good as Truex.
No,
quick time in getting up through the field.
He's been able to manage the cars a lot better and be able to make those passes.
So Truex 2.5 back, and that gap right now is pretty stable. The effort to score wins and championships doesn't stop at the racetrack. Join us for a look at one of the ways Toyota prepares its drivers for success at the Toyota Performance Center.
My name is Caitlin Quinn, and I am the director of the Toyota Performance Center. The Toyota Performance Center is a place for specifically drivers in our Toyota driver development program, but also any professional Toyota Motorsports drivers who want to be a part of the program. We offer everything from training to nutrition to mental edge training and anything in between. This is our main weight room. We also have a heat lab where we train heat tolerance. We have a teaching kitchen. We do a lot of training, but if the drivers think of it as a clubhouse, it works pretty well.
Wow, come to the racetrack ready to win.
We need heat tolerance. We need to get. Whoa, got one around, Austin Dillon.
And this is at turn 11 at the exit.
So he didn't get it fired up here.
Yeah, I think they'll give him a second. He's out of the way.
He's running 17th.
He's at the
there he goes. He got it fired up.
At the entrance to Gilligan's Island there, the alternate pit road they used.
How did he end up there, Mike? Like, that's a really weird place to.
I'm going to get you a replay here soon. It's coming.
You come around turn 11, you get hot on the gas, and the car rotates right, spins all the way around.
Or you just do that.
Yeah.
Here it goes.
Or
you get some help off the front bumper.
Well, that can happen too.
Ty Gibbs.
Oh, we should have stayed on Ty Gibbs for one more lap.
I want to see the entrance of 11 if we get a chance. I don't know if you'll be able to see that shot, but I think there's some Paul Harvey going on there. There's the rest of the story.
Oh.
I'm glad you asked because I was getting ready to.
Your age, Mike, you should know that.
Yes, I did. Here
Austin
we go.
Dillon missed, got loose. See that? Trying to slip around. That was not Ty Gibbs. Let me correct that. He kind of slid right in front of him. Ty Gibbs is trying. You heard him lift, trying to give him time.
What did Ty Gibbs have to say about that?
I got inside up there and he got loose and he kept digging. So I didn't want to do that, but that's kind of his fault.
Yeah, kind of.
I agree with you, Ty Gibbs. Keep digging.
Yeah,
wasn't your fault.
I'm going to say Austin Dillon's going to see that differently, but I'm with you guys. I mean, I don't know that Ty actually did anything wrong in that situation. I'm coming right here, buddy. Motoring him down.
Martin Truex, when we started that Toyota feature, was 2.5 seconds back. He has now cut 1/3 of that away. It's down to 1.6.
Yeah, Truex can take a deep breath once he got by Joey Logano and kind of reset Clint, right? He knows he's going to be better than Kyle Busch. Again, just trying to save those tires, being methodical, not trying to slip the tires. He had to work that car a little bit hard to get by Chastain and Joey Logano earlier.
Well, let's talk about the opportunity and how well Kyle Busch and company in that 8 car, last week's winner, took advantage of that opportunity to their good. Hang on, boy. Little loose off a 10 there. But like I said, a huge net gain. I mean, they are literally a contender for the win now because of that.
And, you know, Clint, it's incredible. Like, they've run well. We know they have the 3 wins this year. But when you're having the momentum on your side, the calls just work out for you. When things are on your side. Look at this, though. Watch him get to the throttle right here. Yaw that car out. That is so much fun inside the car.
Tight and missed the bottom. And then finally the front tires caught up and the rear tires came around.
The rear tires are screaming right now, Mike, as you see Truex running him down.
All right, let's take a ride with Martin Truex as he tracks down Kyle Busch.
Yeah, this would be a great way to get a look, and we can see the balance of Kyle Busch's car. We'll see if he's able to get to the apex of the corner. Does he have to use the curves to get the front end to turn, or is he able to stay off of those? Or, Mike, we could just do this view right here and stay on the top.
Guess we could.
Well, I can tell you from my view, that car in front of him is getting bigger.
Yeah, and
do you think? I don't think he catches him in time to make a pass in 11 yet. I think you might wait till 7.
Yeah, I mean, he's quick enough. He doesn't have to push the issue. And you know, when you're in Kyle Busch's car, you're just looking out of the back the whole time, knowing that he's coming.
Congratulations, Roy. $5 grand to Clint's cash, pending verification of eligibility.
Ohio Roy, that's my man. Love it.
Ohio Roy.
Yeah, you see that? I put that together.
I like that little nickname.
So that's why I said didn't get him done. It didn't get him past in 11. I think we got to come around here. We're setting him up. I want to get close enough at the top of the hill. Try to get in position. You see Kyle Busch starting to slip around a little bit. Get in position off of 4. Set him up for a pass in 7. The top of hill 3A.
Here, 43 more.
Excuse me, that was. Here comes 3 and 3A.
And I don't know if he's going to be close enough right here.
Still don't think he is.
But we've seen Martin be really good in the braking zones. Kind of like Tyler Reddick at COTA. He was so good in the braking zones. We'll see if he's not able to get up beside him here. Now it's a complete reset. I'm going to get a wide entry, get turned, and I'm going to stay as tight as I can to him to get that good exit off of turn 10.
Didn't get a good launch there.
That's what makes this track extremely challenging and frustrating, mind you. All right. Turn 4, I didn't get the good run, didn't get him past in 7, all the way around, try to set up the next opportunity, and here it comes in 7, which, by the way, I slipped up off the 7, like Mike said, and I might not get it done in 7 or 11.
And you know, Clint, one thing about this track, the section we just saw from 7 down to 11, that's the fast section of the racetrack, and you can have one balance at the fast section of the racetrack, and then everything from right here back around to turn 4 is a little bit of a slower section. It kind of flows back and forth, so you could have a good balance on one side of the track and not the other. And it looks to me like the 11's able to get off, or the 19's able to get off of turn 11 and then just kind of roll in on him right here.
Man, Truex really hugged those tires tight off of 11. Extremely tight.
So with those stacks of tires moved at turn 11, Kyle Busch's spotter has been busy with instruction.
On turn 11, he's off and away. He pushed that last barrier over in turn 11 further back. You can use that now more further around the corner to wrap it if you need for exit.
That's exactly what I was saying. I saw him do it.
Oh, he's going for it right here.
There by himself, 15.2. Clear, clear.
I tell you what, it looked to me like the 8 had a good exit off of 4. But from that view, I mean, Kyle had to let him go to come from that far back.
You see Kyle slipping and sliding around, losing the rear grip on his race car at the top of the hill. That's a veteran move. I mean, you can't hold that guy back. Not when he's that much faster. Live to see another day, and I think that's exactly what Kyle Busch did.
Third place, Michael McDowell is closing up on Joey Logano, who's using a lot of racetrack and a little bit of dirt here, too.
Whoa! Not pretty hot
this
there.
time.
You see, there's the last set of tires.
Yep.
You see on the exit, that's when the 3 cars spun, it moves some of those out of the way. That opens that opportunity up.
69 laps complete in Sonoma. Martin Truex for Toyota, leading Kyle Busch's Chevrolet and Joey Logano's Ford with 41 laps to go.
When things are so intense and you have to be so focused, there's not an ounce of room anywhere else in your body to think about anything other than what you're doing in that moment.
These things are scary, you know, they're dangerous.
Racing obviously is dangerous. It's taken friends of mine.
Brian Clausen was one of the best drivers ever, and you know, he got killed doing it.
A big impact. I've crashed a lot since then, and you know, something like this has not slowed me down.
Even if you are the best, even if you are at the top of your game,
it's something that we all live with.
The season finale, Dirt, the last great American sport, Tuesday, 7 p.m. on FS1.
Speaking of dirt, my old buddy Carson Macedo, bad tumble last night at Knoxville, caught on fire. Heard some good news. Talked to Kyle Larson this morning about him. Thoughts and prayers. What are you thinking about you, buddy? Heal up.
You bet. 39 laps to go here in Sonoma, and this battle for third has been a good one. Michael McDowell in that yellow Mustang trying to catch and pass Joey Logano. Catching him's one thing, passing another. One more try. Dive bomb here. Might get it done this time.
I didn't know if he was going to get it slowed down right there, but he did. It looked like it slid the back just a little bit. He has been working Joey Logano over, though, for the last 5 or 6 laps, just trying to get in the right position, and finally gets it done.
Talked to him before this race, and you could just see the confidence. I mean, he was literally grinning. Could not wait to get in that race car.
Here's Christopher Bell, Larry Mack. Let's get to Regan first.
Well, Mike, he's been struggling with rear grip all day long, and this may have been a little bit of change of strategy plan a little early for his stop right here. 4 tires for Christopher.
All right, Larry Mack, what about pit stop strategy from here on out?
Yeah, Mike, we went back racing with 57 to go. If you split that out, that's pitting with about 30 to go, which would be lap 80. But remember what happened when that last caution came out. It benefited cars that had pitted early. I'm probably in the next 3 to 4 laps, I'm going to go ahead and make that green flag pit stop, and in the perfect world, get that caution and get that track position. I don't want to wait all the way to 30 to go at lap 80.
Nope, there's Alex Bowman, the Ally Cam on board his car. He just made his pit stop, as did Christopher Bell.
It seems like today's day and age, I mean, if you're going to get that magical, caution that Larry just spoke of, it's going to be because of a mistake on pit road, exactly like we saw with the 38 car.
Yeah, and Larry said the magic word, it's lucky. The one thing, if you're going to win one of these races, sometimes you got to get just a little bit lucky. We saw it with Kyle Busch earlier, being in the right position. And for Michael McDowell, I think they're going to have to take a little bit of a chance here to try to leapfrog ahead of him.
Regan.
William Byron, a good break to get some track position with that 24 car with the previous caution. The car right now is just too loose to the right-handers for him.
Kyle Larson's in.
Luck
Denny
is when
Hamlin, our pole
preparation
sitter.
meets an opportunity.
Yes. Right, Larry.
Well, here comes the opportunities. Jamie?
See Denny Hamlin in as well as Kyle Larson, 4 tires, just trying to get more grip. That's what all these drivers want right now. A little air pressure adjustment for Denny Hamlin.
So I guess, Larry, this 3-stop strategy, it'll still leave you a set of stickers if we get a late caution.
And that's all the crew chiefs I spoke with yesterday and last night. Yeah, they really were thinking about 4 stops, but it saves you no set of stickers because we get a caution there with about 10 or 15 laps to go. You want a set of sticker tires laying there to be able to utilize.
Do you see that becoming a play, though, Larry? I heard you say that right there. I just don't know. Let's go to Regan here.
Well, Clint, the 22 of Joey Logano has been battling loose all day long. Better this run. They're making good adjustments on it, but he still needs more with that car. Jamie?
Ross Chastain in the 1 car making his way down pit road to his pit crew. Remember that caution came out before when he was on pit road. They had already pitted, got all that track position. Car's pretty good, just getting a little bit loose, but pretty much happy with it. Didn't have the best qualifying effort, but see if they can stay up front and utilize this track position.
There's your Xfinity winner yesterday, Eric Almirola. Getting his service. He's been hugging right around the top 20 today. Martin Truex 3 seconds up on Kyle Busch now.
Yeah, and Mike, looking at the lap times, those guys, Kyle Busch, Michael McDowell, Chris Buescher, they're going to have to get on a little bit of a different strategy than Martin Truex Jr. because based on pace, they will not outrun him today.
I was surprised Buescher didn't come in with Logano. They were racing almost side by side together for 3rd. Logano pitted. Buescher stayed out. So here's Truex, the leader pit.
Oh, it's the worst case scenario for the 8 or the 34 because he got on pit road before them.
Regan?
Well, the 8 car, Kyle Busch pitting also this time right now. The 8 car comes in good for 3 laps, and then it starts to lose grip as he runs. And the 19 of your leader, Martin Truex, he has been very pleased on the radio the whole time, has not said a word about his car.
He didn't necessarily, he came with him. You're talking about Kyle Busch there, the 8 car came with Truex. What a huge advantage that caution was for guys like Kyle Busch.
Put him right into the game. That puts the Fords out front. McDowell and Buescher trying to stretch out this run on this set of tires. Jamie.
A.J. Allmendinger, the 2 wins he has in Cup, both came on road courses. Car's been pretty good. Of course, another one of those drivers calling for rear grip. Just do whatever you can to help me out. He was also frustrated on the radio there, gave up some position before he was called into pit road.
Larry, what do you think the game plan is here for McDowell?
Well, they've got to, the two things can happen here, Mike. You've got to get on pit road now, or they may be thinking about trying to run it long and hopefully catch a caution. And if we go a whole lot of laps, catch a caution, not only are they going to pit, probably everybody that's made these green flag pit stops are going to pit because they'll have a number of laps on their tires. That's the only way this would work out for them if they don't get the pit road. There they are. They had to.
Yeah, to give Luck a chance to operate, they were going to have to stretch it way too far. I thought that was in the danger zone.
All right, let's start with Regan.
The 17 of Chris Buescher right now. He's got good lateral, or excuse me, he needs some more lateral grip with that car, especially on the left sides of the car. And the 34 of Michael McDowell, this was inaudible. They were not going to pit initially this soon, but when everybody else did, they got on the radio about 3 quarters ago, said we have to right now, just a little bit loose to the right-handers.
So Chase Elliott cycles to the lead. Remember, this is the first road course that Chase has raced this year.
Yeah, and Mike, you know, listening to Michael McDowell's strategy there, making that audible, he'll lose 2 to 3 seconds to those guys, Truex and Kyle Busch, that pitted that lap before. That's going to put them in. Now, look, he's going to be in this group of cars, which is going to hurt his lap times even more. He's going to have to fight to get in front of Chastain and Eric Jones right here. Let's say he's got a great run on the exit there.
Look out.
Traffic jam.
Well, that worked out well for McDowell, though, because 1 second later, and he's behind all 5 of those cars, he might spend the next 6 laps trying to get by them.
3 wide into turn 4, and they come out. 34 laps to go in Sonoma. Chase Elliott in the lead from Kevin Harvick, Ty Gibbs, Tyler Reddick, and Daniel Suarez.
Say you love but you leave it. Say you feel but you gone. Throw me out like a chain to your pocket, baby. Move on.
Welcome back to the Toyota St. Mart 350 on Fox. 32 laps to go on this twisting 12-turn road course in Northern California. Here's your aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, powering every mile and every moment on NASCAR's road to victory. Goodyear, more driven. So at the front of the field, Chase Elliott, in his first road course appearance of the season, he was recovering from a snowboarding accident when we ran at Circuit of the Americas in Texas, and was unable to compete there. So first road race for a fellow who's had so much success on these road courses.
Yeah, and Mike, we talked about it. The 19 car is the fastest car. They'll have to do something different in order to outrun him, and Alan Gustafson's doing that right now.
Riding along with Kevin Harvick in second place. Same conversation as Chase Elliott. Trying to give Luck a chance to operate. Let's gamble. Cards are on the table.
Tyler Reddick in third.
Yeah, Tyler Reddick, I mean, one of the best road racers in this series. This has been a struggle for him, though. But like Clint said, they're going to try to get themselves a little bit lucky and get a position to go in this race.
Martin Truex in fourth, first car on fresh tires.
And this is the guy they're all trying to jockey around for position, trying to do something to offset them on strategy. Martin Truex, fastest car here today.
And action on pit road. Here comes Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick. Regan, excuse me.
Kevin Harvick in the 4-car struggled with drive early on in the race. This particular run, though, just losing the rear tires too much, too loose with the back of the car sliding around everywhere. Jamie?
Chase Elliott led 4 laps there, but had to bring it down. Said he's tighter now, but he thinks it's a good thing as he pulls it into the pit box for 4 tires and an air pressure adjustment. Been pretty happy with this car today.
You know, Mike, he said his car's tighter now, and he likes that better. The one thing about being a little bit tight at this track, and Kevin Harvick said it in our pre-race show, it's a little bit more forgiving. If you're loose, it's hard to control what you have. You typically have a little bit of better drive off. We've really focused on that the whole race long. So being just a skosh on the tight side is not a bad thing.
So the lead cycles back to Martin Truex, who pitted at lap 75, 5 laps ago. The two cars that are out there on worn tires in the top 10 are Tyler Reddick in 2nd and Bubba Wallace in 8th. The teammates at Team 2311 have not been to pit road since lap 51.
And Mike, they're running 3 seconds a lap slower than Martin Truex Jr. is right now. So not only does he have the track position and the tires, I mean, the lap time's just not even close right now between those guys.
And also Daniel Suarez, who we're showing last stop at lap 43. There is the 4th place battle led by Joey Logano. And Suarez finally makes his appearance on pit road. Larry Mack?
Yeah, what I was going to say about Tyler Reddick, the only way this would work is if we go another 5 or 6 laps, but I think they decided, you know what, this is not working, so they did hit pit road, as Daniel Suarez and Bubba Wallace did too.
So, but for Ryan Blaney, who had a penalty earlier and got a lap down early, everybody has made this pit stop.
That's 17 to Chris Buescher. It just seems like every road race we go to, not flashy, right? Really quiet, but just top 10 you to death. There at the end, puts himself in a good position. You see getting to the inside of Ross Chastain right there, moves up to the top 6.
In particular, this one, he's really good at Sonoma. You know, you talk about the experience, taking care of the tires, managing these tires, not abusing them, forward drive up through the S's like this. It's really good here at Sonoma.
29 to go. Martin Truex, 3.8 seconds up on Kyle Busch. Now we're going to take you Fox side by side once more.
I watched my first race yesterday.
You're on the team, kid. It's orientation day.
Hey, new guy. Let's get you up to speed.
Lunchtime.
Your workspace is ready.
Looks like you got a corner office.
Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
Get 2 entrees and an appetizer for $25 now with steak.
Much has changed over our 75 years, but the thing that never does, the anticipation, the holding of breath until that first green flag drops and the crazy journey begins all over again. If you could travel 75 years from now, you might not.
The thing about treasure hunting is I'm getting to do what I love with my family. I treasure you, bro. It's not what you find, it's who you're with. Couldn't agree more.
I found treasure.
Duck Family Treasure, a new season on Fox Nation.
Hey, sweetie, bring me that treasure.
Here is where it must be left on the track.
Blow those rear tires off of the bus.
And now is when the future is written in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
27 laps to go. Martin Truex looking for his 4th Sonoma win. Trying to drive away from Kyle Busch, Michael McDowell, Joey Logano, the rest of this field. Here's your progressive race summary. Truex been out front for 29 laps. Denny Hamlin's led 33, 5 different leaders, 7 lead changes, and still 34 of the 36 cars are on the lead lap. Hamlin and Kyle Busch won the stages today. No stage breaks in road racing anymore. And we've had some interesting difference of strategies among the top drivers.
You really, all right, let's talk about it. What shook it up? It was that caution. I mean, who was the big winners? It was the 8, Kyle Busch. It was the 22, Logano, 1 of Chastain, 24, Byron. Big winners from that caution. All right, where did that come from? It was at the expense of Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, and Chase Elliott. They were the big losers of that. Hey, think about this. Kyle Busch was running 15th, took him right to the lead. Chastain 12th. He went right back in there, capitalized on it. 17th for Logano and 19th for Byron. That was a big change of events for those cars.
Yep. a huge swing. And here's a look at some of the contenders and how things have moved up and down. Note Christopher Bell +3 after his pit stop. Now Denny Hamlin -3, as Clint pointed out. Kyle Larson -4.
Yeah, I mean, Denny Hamlin, you know, I mean, he was running right there, led a lot early, was running second, had a bad pit stop, and then a double whammy came with the pit stop, or excuse me, the caution that bit him.
Yeah, when he had the bad pit stop, the next 10 laps of his race just kind of crumbled. He lost a lot of positions when he got back in traffic, and we talk about it all the time. Some guys, Truex was fine in traffic. I mean, when he was able to maneuver his way through, Hamlin did not have a good restart and then lost a few spots.
When it rains, it pours.
Well, it's been a different race, and the main reason, as you look at our Fox race tracker in the upper left of your screen, is just that. One caution flag all day, and that is it. That has changed things up. So, Larry Mack, let's say we get a caution with 20 laps or 15 laps to go. You got 34 cars on the lead lap. Do you want track position, or do you want that set of tires that's sitting in the box?
Yes.
Depends on where you're at.
But I'm going to tell you, if we get a caution, who really could be in the catbird seat could be someone like Chase Elliott or Kevin Harvick that waited and made that pit stop. They'll have less laps on their tires. But I do think the caveat, Mike, is exactly what you said. 34 drivers on the lead lap. You know, no matter what, there's going to be some guys in the middle of this pack that's going to swing for the fence and stay out should we get that late caution.
There's no question. You cannot make them passes very easily on that racetrack. It's going to have to come at the expense of some sort of strategy on pit road, if in fact that ever even happens.
Well, I'm going to tell y'all right now, the caution comes out, I am going to pit, and I'm going to sit in my pit box until Larry puts 4 tires on my car, because I just think it's so much easier to be on the offensive here than be defensive.
And you're going to hope you drag 25 guys into pit road with you.
Absolutely, and you got to get a little bit lucky, but Chase Elliott being in the position he's in, if the caution doesn't fall in the next 4 or 5 laps, I don't think he's able to stay out. I think you can have max 8 to 10 laps on your tires to be able to maintain that position.
June 24th, the CONCACAF Gold Cup kicks off on FS1. Check out the U.S. men's national team as they look to defend their crown in an opening match against Jamaica. It all starts June 24th on FS1.
You see, you guys keep talking about this caution. I mean, you pointed it out. There's been one caution. It wasn't on the racetrack. It was a tire getting loose. That's why I go back to my credit ones to watch, Martin Truex. I'm on board with that 19 all day long. We're going to win this race.
I think I picked him.
Oh, I don't think so.
I point out the obvious there. I think that was my guy.
Well, Martin Truex broke a 54-race winless streak at Dover this year in May on Fox. He's been just a little indeterminate about his future. Does he want to keep racing beyond this year? If he's having a good time and winning races, he says, yeah.
Oh, he seems way happier this year, Mike.
Yes.
And I mean, even before he got that win, it seems like he's enjoying life a little bit more. And those wins, that's just a bonus.
Oh, this right here, this is the carrot dangler that Joe Gibbs and company, everybody involved wants to see. You put that cat out front, let him go win. He ain't getting out of that seat. No way. Why would you?
Dover ended that long drought. 54 races. And he pretty well dominated there. You know, but that's been Martin Truex's MO. If he wins, he wins when he's been strong all day. He doesn't sneak up and surprise you.
Love him. He's the most boring winner I've ever watched in my life. He just goes out and stays about a half a track ahead of everybody and goes ahead and wins the race.
His younger brother Ryan won.
That's a big weekend.
Yeah.
The Truex family in Dover.
Dominant.
So Chris Buescher moves up a spot on Joey Logano. Behind Michael McDowell, who's running third, right where he finished here last year.
It's so funny going back to Dover with both of those boys winning. Martin, the dad, he was there. But when I saw him after Sunday,
I bet he was in good shape, right?
He looked like he'd been celebrating a little bit. I don't blame him a bit. That's a big, proud Papa day.
Think about that, though. You're a dad now. There's no better moment than to be proud of your kid playing sports. My kid races karts.
Just one of them.
I know. I mean,
Can you
think about that.
imagine
Both of your kids winning at the top level in the same weekend at what you call your home racetrack. That's a special weekend.
It's called taking all their money.
Looks like Chris Buescher is closing on Michael McDowell, who is 6.9 off the lead. Martin Truex, your leader, with 22 to go. We'll go side by side.
When I started as a stunt driver, I had to create my own path. So I got in my Ford and I got to work. Literally every moment of the day, I just trained. And now I can confidently say that I'm one of the top drivers in this industry.
Get crafts, sporting goods, restaurants, and the future of NASCAR all from your neighborhood. DoorDash.
Home internet, what a pain in the...
Hey, neighbor!
Try T-Mobile, it sets up so fast.
It's like Wi-Fi that runs on 5G.
Home internet from T-Mobile?
Wait till you see.
Tell me more, tell me more.
One cord's all that you need.
Tell me more, tell me more.
We're talking serious speed.
So yeah, USAA, they always have my back.
USAA? You were in the military?
Oh no, I wasn't, but my grandpa was. He joined USAA, passed membership to my mom, then to me.
There's other ways to get in?
Yeah. My neighbor Ron, he's in because his wife served. Even little Luna, once she's born, her dad served.
So all this time I could have had USAA insurance.
And banking.
Where's my phone?
Over there.
USAA, for the military community and their families.
Wendy's Strawberry Frosty is back for the summer, so Tyler's been spending a lot of Frosty time outside.
Ooh. What?
Bro, you look like a strawberry.
It'll even out.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's. Now open late.
Fox Monday, summer's outrageous new competition series.
I look like gay Buzz Lightyear.
Sounds the alarm.
Your water supply has already run out.
It's the final countdown.
Because when the going gets tough,
We have no running water.
We need to drink water. It's getting real.
Mars sucks. It's every celeb or not for themselves.
I don't hear anything.
Maybe because you don't got the things in your ear.
It's the final countdown.
We all dead.
I am tradition passed down from the families that race to the ones that watch us every weekend.
"20 laps to go in Sonoma, and we'll shed a small tear for 20 laps to go in the NASCAR on Fox season. 16 races complete. The next 20 will be on NBC and their family of networks. 2 weeks from today, June 25th at Nashville. Want to wish them a lot of luck with a lot of great storylines we can hand over to carry through the rest of the season.
Well, a storyline. I can't say it. Denny Hamlin spun out on the front stretch. Yes, it is. Unbelievable. I didn't see what happened. I looked up. I was talking to you, Mike, over your shoulder. Denny Hamlin's backwards.
Just spun right at start finish.
Yeah, but you see the toe links broke on the back of that car.
I don't know about everybody at home, Clint, but you just gave me a heart attack.
Man, I'll tell you what, I couldn't believe it.
Definitely bent the right rear. Right front.
I had Mike crying up here about going off the air, and I
Hamlin was 10.
Hamlin crying on the front stretch. Let's see what happens. See, he's already up against it. It kind of takes me back to turn 11. See the skin on the tires? I think he may hit those tires off of 11 maybe.
Or he could have had contact maybe on the exit of 4.
We're going to see. Yeah. There's going to be more to this story.
Coming off turn 12, he got up into the wall. lot of damage to that right rear quarter panel. And then he spins into the inside barrier.
The way that car, and it was bent on that right rear, it takes me back to those tires in turn 11. Did he get into the tires and bend that toe link?
Yeah, he's definitely had contact with something, and when it breaks that toe link, it actually, the rear of the car, you see, it starts steering the front of the car, and you're just along for the ride.
Well, he'll try to wheel it around under caution.
Well, there's one thing I can guarantee. This changes the game for this race. What we do here, Larry?
Well, I think there's no question. We're going to go back racing probably with about 15 or 16 laps to go. You look at Martin Truex Jr., 16 laps on his tires. Even Chase Elliott, 10 to 11 laps. I think you're right. They're all going to be coming here because we've got too far to go to the checkered flag. Everybody's got a set of sticker tires.
I'll tell you who's not coming. Michael McDowell. They have played contrary strategy all year long trying to get a win. Do they dare risk it?
No, I think you have to pit if you want to win the race. You can't hang on with that. Truex has been the best car. You got to pit. He's got to hope Truex has an issue on pit road. Maybe shuffles him to the back and then he can race Kyle Busch for the win. But I think you got to come to pit road.
I agree, but I think this is giving Luck a chance to operate. If you're, all right, let's think about it. Chase Elliott. There's no way they think they have to win. What do you have to do? You need, if you're going to stay out, you got to have enough the cars behind you, a buffer, if you will, between the guys that don't. But
yeah, but unfortunately for Chase Elliott, I think the caution came 3 or 4 laps too late. We talked about he needed that caution to fall between 5 and 8 laps in order to stay out. I think that's going to be a struggle, guys.
If you do stay out, the only thing that can help you is cautions.
So Hamlin makes his way to pit road, where hopefully they can replace that toe link and fix any other damage. Everybody's coming around up at turn number 7 and headed for pit road. Before they get there, we'll remind you that coming up next on Fox is week 9 of the USFL. Now in the North Division, if the Philadelphia Stars beat the New Jersey Generals today, they clinch a spot in the playoffs. But if New Jersey wins, then all 3 other teams will still have a path to clinch next week. So a lot at stake here. Tune in next on Fox. Here's some Martin Truex radio.
The guys that might stay out, we're on a 5-lap tire differential. Yeah, 4. Just think there's too long to go, given we have 16 on tires, especially if we get more cautions. Yeah, I agree with that.
That's the leader.
I'll be the first to tell you, when you got 33 drivers on the lead lap, there's going to be a handful that's going to stay out.
Absolutely.
If you follow the leader, that's all you'll do is follow the leader.
I think you look for the opportunities. You look for people. I like what your head was at, and Mike Joy, when you said McDowell, I look at a Chase Elliott that's in a must-win situation. There's other guys out there. You need 10, you need 12 cars to be a buffer. Look at Truex thinking about it. What's he going to do? Still time, still time. We're pitting.
All the top 10 and more.
There's Chase Elliott staying out.
Regan.
Kyle Busch continues to lose grip as he runs with that car. Same problem that he has been fighting all day long in that 8 car. The 19 of Martin Truex, they said that they felt like those 6 or 7 cars would stay out. Made the decision a little bit tougher, but it was easy when they got to the top of the S's. They said, pit, no complaints on the car. And the 34 of Michael McDowell just too loose to the S's going left and right now. Jamie?
Ross Chastain pits from the 6th spot, says he just doesn't fire up as well as the cars around him, and he's still on the loose side, but certainly not terrible for the one. He's still got a shot.
Well, here's who did not pit. Well, first, here is your race off pit road, sponsored by Ram. Truex and Busch, the first one's off. Chris Buescher gets 1, so does Logano, Chastain, Larson, and Allmendinger. Chase Elliott stays out. So does Tyler Reddick and Ryan Blaney. Things are heating up in Sonoma.
I have made it to downtown Winchester.
What makes this connection between the track and the town so special?
Oh boy, let me tell you about Winchester.
It combines everything that makes our sport so good.
It attracted all these major names.
My favorite racetrack.
This place has been around over 100 years.
It's brought a lot of notoriety to Winchester.
I know there's a lot of opportunities for the community to connect with the Speedway.
I want to go to work. You got something for me?
I do.
That's what makes this place so special, right, is the history. And when they are renovating it right now, they haven't forgot about the history.
Just because we're in a small town doesn't mean we can't have a big impact.
Rust to Revival. Winchester Speedway airs Thursday, June 15th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. Joey Logano there, hosting that one. Well, we found out what happened to Denny Hamlin, and it was the inside wall at turn number 12. Watch the third car in line here.
Yeah, he's following along right behind William Byron, just turned it in too sharp, nails the inside wall, shoots him right out into the outside. When he hits this outside wall, that's what broke the toe link with the right rear. I've seen that happen before. Man, it really unraveled out from underneath them. Starts with a pit stop, then an untimely caution, caught him off guard. Now we're pretty much on the truck headed to the house.
And the damaged vehicle policy clock's going to expire on him. Here is the choose cone just after turn 9, and then they'll head for the Geico restart zone and get this race restarted. Now, Michael McDowell was up among those front runners, but they lost the right front lug nut, came off, rolled away. They had to go for a spare on McDowell. Here's his radio.
Well, that sucks. Man, I'm so sorry. You've got to be kidding me. I guess I should have stayed out there. Sorry. Lottery. That's your boys and girls. Stay calm.
Now it's the driver being
I like it. I like the driver being optimistic.
Well, you know, he knows.
Nothing you can do about it. That's right.
Those guys, they're bummed out. That's a hard one to swallow.
You know, guys, we talked about if you stay out, if you don't. Blaney really hadn't had a great car today. Has been behind, but he only has 7 green flag laps on his tires. He's in the best position of the guys that did stay out.
Chase Elliott has 12 laps on his. Tyler Reddick has 11.
All right, let's talk about it. Elliott and Reddick, I mean, this is going to be short-lived. You're a sitting duck, I'm afraid. You need a caution quick.
Through the Geico restart zone, and we're back to green. 15 to go.
Like the call, though. You have to win. Let's go for it. Put the cards on the table.
Well, the one thing we've seen of the drivers that had tires on, Clint, those first couple of laps is where it's really magnified, where you see that is the most of an advantage.
What I want to see, don't let Truex get to that inside. He's already the inside of Reddick. Try to hold them up. Going to try to run and hide. Truex to the inside of Reddick.
Truex in gotta-go mode, and so is Kyle Busch on fresh tires. Trying to hold pace with the 19.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Oh, look at the 8 going to the inside.
Gotta go, can't wait.
Yeah, you can't let Truex get away. If the 8's going to have any chance of being able to race him.
Truex did a great job of making quick time.
Yeah,
that spot of Reddick.
What Kyle Busch wants to see here is Chase Elliott be able to hold up Martin Truex Jr. for a couple of laps to let him close that gap back down. He was able to get by Tyler Reddick, but it took him a little bit longer than he wanted.
Truex won't quite catch him here at turn 11. He might have to wait for turn 7, or will he wait?
Oh, he's definitely going to have to wait.
The thing is, on those new tires, there's just such an advantage on the acceleration off the corner. You can see him roll in on him. Right now, if I'm Truex, I'm going to patiently wait until I get off the exit of turn 4, do that pass into turn 7, and Chase Elliott knows it's coming, and there's nothing he can do to. This isn't a track that you can block on. He just has to try to run the best corners he can and hope that he gets a good exit off.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, he knows, and what he can do is try to be good where you know Truex is going to try to set you up. Unfortunately, it's right here.
Your left.
You're just not going to hold that guy off.
Truex back to the lead. Kyle Busch closes up on the lead duo, but won't get a chance here.
Yeah, Kyle Busch is going to have to capitalize when they get to turn 11 this lap if he's going to have any chance of catching Truex. We know that the 19's had the best car, and right here he's going to try to stay as tight as he can to Chase Elliott as they enter the turn 9 right here. Now they make this turn right for turn 10, and he'll probably try to get to the inside of Chase into 11.
I'm telling you, though, this is a great call. Alan Gustafson, that's a great call. He might lose one more spot here, but there's still a big gap right here. This is a game changer. Somebody just shot way out of the screen. Logano. Reddick's got a flat tire.
Reddick.
Flat left front tire.
Yep.
There's a good chance that could bring out another caution because he's going to have to go all the way around the racetrack. There's nowhere else to get off.
Long ways around from there. Missed pit road entry. Oh, he's going to go around.
Wow.
That's a pretty heads-up move. I don't know. Can you do that, Larry?
I mean, I don't know if you can do it or not.
But he did. You can do anything you want. That's right.
I think that was smart on his part.
Extremely smart.
Honestly, I believe NASCAR is okay with what he just did there.
I don't think I've ever can remember back somebody doing that, but that's a heads-up play.
Well, saved a caution flag, and it got him off track out of the way.
Yeah, it's saved. I bet he gets penalized for what he did right there. I mean, you've cut 90% of the racetrack off.
Well, there's the help.
Yeah, but he already had the flat tire getting down into that.
Oh, Almirola.
Top of the hill in 7.
Gets going again. And Kyle Busch is within a car length of Martin Truex at turn 11.
Now, this is getting interesting. We haven't seen anybody. Truex has been great on the short run, but we haven't seen these two cars together on equal tires. That's pretty impressive to see Kyle close that in.
That's a good point right there. Eyes forward. Do not get in that mirror. Get to looking in that mirror, trying to wonder what he's doing. How is he catching me? That's when you start making mistakes. One slip up, Kyle Busch is around you.
Well, and if I'm Kyle, I'm pushing as hard as I can, trying to get in front of Martin. And if I use up too much tire, who cares? We'll move on.
You're trying to force him into a mistake.
Force the 19 into a mistake. If I'm Truex, the opposite of that. I'm trying to be as smooth as I can and just save as much as I can for later in the race here.
He's trying to force Martin Truex to make a mistake. You've raced against this guy.
He's pretty solid, Mike.
He's pretty solid, yes. Kyle Busch's crew chief, Randall Burnett, leads all crew chiefs with 6 wins over the last 34 races. Won twice on road courses last year with Tyler Reddick.
Well, and when we talked to Kyle Busch,
you see, Josh Bilicki.
When we talked to Kyle Busch, Mike, in the pre-race show, he said the weakness of this 8-car team was the short tracks, and it's the same rules package that we have here. This has got to make you feel really good. They already have the 3 wins this year, and to be able to close it out today with another solid run, got to be a good feeling for all those 18 guys.
Kyle Busch was almost a half a second faster than him that last lap. Truex matched his speed there. Truex back to the fastest car, got away from him a little bit.
Elliott and Logano passed Blaney, who's back to 5th here.
Yeah, but Blaney has been in the back all day. He had that speeding penalty early in the race. This guy, he's hit a home run in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, he went a lap down. His average running position today, 26th. And here he is up in the top 5 with 11 to go. Martin Truex, Kyle Busch. Who's going to win Sonoma? Let's take you one final time side by side. Well, let's not. Eric Jones around.
Top of the hill, 3A.
Fires it up.
Yeah, and that's a blind corner for all of those cars behind him.
Very dangerous corner. Nobody can see. That was lucky, unscathed.
And he may coast off the track here. We'll see.
Yeah, he's just trying to get it restarted right here. When he spun out, the engine's died, and he's trying to get it fired back up. I can say that the 19 does not want to see a caution because he doesn't want to have to race Kyle Busch on a restart. We saw Kyle Busch last week just do an amazing job with Larson on all of those restarts at Gateway. He was able to nail all of those. And honestly, Clint, he's hanging with the 19 much better than we've seen anybody do all day long. Truex a couple of tenths quicker, but one slip up, Kyle Busch will be there again.
Truex and Busch have had 10 1-2 finishes, including Martin's last win here in 2019. Now, about that side-by-side break, we'll take one more here with 10 to go.
That's my team out there.
If our network goes down, lives are at stake.
Our comms have to work.
Or the mission won't.
That's why we partner with Verizon Frontline, the network that truly prioritizes first responders.
So we don't worry about getting through. And they're the most reliable 5G network in America.
Out here, reliability is everything.
Extreme or routine, Verizon Frontline delivers.
The #1 network choice in public safety. It's your mission. It's your Verizon.
Wow, look at these seats. They're great.
Yeah, kind of thought I had the aisle, but...
Hot nuts, popcorn, bundle and save.
Nuts and popcorn and savings. Just like bundling your home and car with Geico.
Yeah, in fact, hot nuts are like home insurance.
I get it. The Gecko explained it pretty clearly.
Whoa!
Hey, I know you.
Yeah, hi.
Not you. The guy who helped me bundle my home and car. He's great.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it.
Probably thought you were somebody else.
Okay.
See how much you could save by bundling with Geico.
Saturday, it's baseball night in America on Fox. Stanton and the Yankees take on Devers and the rival Red Sox. Or Randy Arozarena and the Rays battle Juan Soto and the Padres. It's baseball night in America, Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
Real pros, real football for real fans. Philadelphia, New Jersey, next on Fox.
The Subway Series is taking your favorites to the next level.
Hold on, Chuck. You can't beat the Italian BMT.
You can with double cheese and MVP vinaigrette.
Double cheese, yes and yes.
Man, you crazy. Try the refresh favorites at Subway today.
Here is where it must be left on the track.
Blow those rear tires off of it, bud.
And now is when the future is written in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
8 laps to go. Martin Truex has pulled out a bit of a lead on Kyle Busch now, 1.2 seconds. Joey Logano 4.7 back. And Chase Elliott's about to have some company in the form of Chris Buescher. Larry, how about a final look at the trends of the season here?
Yeah, Mike, since we're doing something different here, and what I mean by that, we're not throwing the caution for the stage ends. I just decided to look at the first 15 races of 2023. And in those 15 races, the final caution came with 10 or fewer laps to go. We've had 7 overtime finishes this year, and the final lead change in these 15 races came with 10 or fewer laps to go in basically half of them, 7 races.
Well, Larry, Kyle Busch is cheering for you. I can tell you that right now, because that would all play into his favor.
Well, I'd say there's about 35 drivers cheering for me.
36. Add my name to the list.
No. All right, Christopher Bell just made the move on Ryan Blaney down in turn 11. And that is for 6th spot. Buescher ahead of them. Blaney with Allmendinger. Now, Tyler Reddick and the strange path of Tyler Reddick. On further review, he is going to do a pass-through penalty down pit road for shortcutting the course.
We actually went backwards.
Doesn't surprise me.
Even though they went backwards, reverse direction, they're still going to do a pass-through.
You know, when you stump old Larry Mack, there was something wrong there. Well, I mean, all right, let's think about this. You said it. There's a long ways around there. I'm going to tell you, he made the right decision. If he would have kept going around there, we would have probably been under caution, and who knows what's going to happen. Speaking of caution, another one in 7.
And that's one of those situations, guys, where you stay out, right? You're not on as good of tires. You're doing everything you can to hold those guys up. And they get tired of it. It gets down to the end of the race. There's no give. It's all take.
He was running 6, Blaney. Oh, Allmendinger slides in there. McDowell
I think Allmendinger was going to wreck if he didn't get out of the way right there. And you see a little
He tried to cross
effect.
back over behind Allmendinger, and McDowell got in the back of him.
Here it is from Kevin Harvick's view on the Ford onboard camera.
Yeah, it all started with Allmendinger, you know, just like you said, diving in there really hard. He tried to cross back over and get in line. McDowell was there, got in the rear of him. That's unfortunate. That's a big knock for Ryan Blaney. Had everything going. Things were finally trending his way after a tough day. Fortunately, gets turned around.
Denny Hamlin checked and released at the infield care center. He's the only car out of the race. 35 running with 6 laps to go, and only 3 cars not on the lead lap. And Ryan's rough day continues.
He's
Well,
ready for the
from
off weekend.
6th to 22nd. Now we're even worse than that.
Well, when you spin out like that, your tires get hot. Then you have even less grip. And you see right here,
again.
Chase Briscoe turns him around right here in turn 2.
I'm on fire right now.
Chase might have had a little help from Daniel Suarez,
maybe
too.
so.
But I'm going to tell you right now, there was flames coming out of my helmet inside that race car. That is the ultimate knock at the end of a long race. Finally got yourself battled back, got some light at the end of the tunnel. Poof. Blows up in your face.
Well, at least Ryan Blaney's got a win in his pocket, that Coca-Cola 600, that he's not like Chase Elliott and others trying to fight to get their one win to get in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, that's a great point. They had an incredible run a few weeks ago and locked in now.
Well, I wouldn't stand in front of Ryan Blaney on his march back to the truck and try to tell him that little silver lining tidbit.
No, absolutely not. Martin Truex picked up a win here 10 years ago. Driving that Toyota for MWR.
I'll tell you what, Mike, anybody could win in one of those MWR cars back in the day. It was incredible how fast they were.
Yeah,
You talking to Boyer? I know you're talking directly to Boyer,
I was
right?
talking directly to Clinton.
Apparently nobody could win. And what number was that? Number 1? No, that was a good times. It really was. We got onto something. Brian Patty and myself, we went to VIR, went and did a test there, and I knew when we left there, I said, buddy, these guys are in trouble. We went on to win that race, and Truex took the exact same setup and went and won in 2013. Has never looked back since.
And Clint, your whole career, you talk about Truex being good at saving tires. That was your thing. You were so good at a place like Richmond, those tracks that you had to save tire and really discipline yourself. And this place kind of played into your wheelhouse, being somewhere that you had to manage your car a little bit better.
It was always a fun racetrack, challenging.
All right, Truex the leader, Busch a second and a half back, Logano 6 seconds back, Chris Buescher 9 seconds back, is at the front of this next pack, and he's pulling away from them. Here comes Buescher, having a great day, 9 seconds back. He has about a 1 second cushion on Chase Elliott, who has no cushion at all here.
Well, Chase Elliott's in the same position that Blaney was in just a second ago. He's on the older tires. He's done a little better job hanging on. Maybe had a little better car than Blaney did. But with this last 4 laps are going to be tough for him to hang on, knowing those guys have better tires.
Right behind him, Christopher Bell.
And then you got, look at Allmendinger bouncing back again. He's been down and out, up and down, all around.
Allmendinger in 7th. Michael McDowell, after that pit stop miscue, losing the right front lug nut. He's in 7th place, or 8th place.
Well, and he's done a great job of hanging on and not imploding with that bad pit stop. Kyle Larson was someone that we thought yesterday had the best 5-lap, 10-lap average. Looked like he drove to the front early on, but hasn't been the day we expected from him.
Ross Chastain's had a pretty quiet day, hanging on to a top 10 spot here in the number 1, and Kevin Harvick in his final Sonoma appearance in 11th.
Yeah, struggled just a little bit with the Ford car. Hasn't been the day that he hoped for, but you know, he likes this place. We all love it. He's cherishing these last laps on this racetrack.
Behind him, Ricky Stenhouse.
Mike, having a career year, won the Daytona 500, the amount of top 10s this year. He's not a road racer. He has not been a road racer, but top 10 at COTA earlier this year, and you see him right now in 12th.
Well, neither is Ryan Preece, but Preece came out here and ran the ARCA race on Friday, started on the pole and won it, and that has paid off. Preece having a solid day.
After COTA, this next one's the one that surprises me the most. I thought he was going to be the one. If anybody could challenge for a win, and I really thought he'd be challenging Reddick for that win, it would be William Byron. Didn't have the best of days yesterday in practice and qualifying. Kind of struggled ever since.
Yeah, Alex Bowman, you see right here, they've been really quiet all day long, but they started off the year. He and his new crew chief, Blake Harris, started off the year incredible, and they're going to have a decent run today.
Brad Keselowski had a very early pit stop. They're kind of off sequence with everybody for a while. Made his first stop at lap 16. He's in 16th place.
Bubba Wallace starting out right on, as soon as they got on the racetrack, he was off of it and been slipping and sliding around, struggling this weekend for sure. Bubba's been solid, but not here today.
Ty Gibbs was one of those Toyotas that were all 5 in the top 5 early in the race. spent the middle part of the race hanging right around 10th place. Here he is 18th.
Yeah, a little shocking to see him fade like he has in this race. He, as you mentioned at the beginning, I mean, it looked like he had a car that could contend to win. As the race went on, though, he's lost some track position and has faded back. You see an 18th now.
19th will be Austin Dillon. Got in a little dust up down there in turn 11 earlier in the day. Right smack in the middle of the lead lap cars. And then Corey LaJoie, who for a while had the race's fastest lap since eclipsed by Haley. But LaJoie back in the top 20.
See a little bit of tape on that right front fender. That's from, he had that massive contact with those tires in turn 11.
Here's Justin Haley, who does have the fastest lap of the race at a minute 18.91. 2 to go for Truex. And the gap pretty constant with Kyle Busch now at 1.8 seconds.
Oh, you see Kyle Busch runs a little wide on the exit of turn 10. He's doing all he can to not only try to catch Truex, but you see right there behind him Eric Jones, who had that spin earlier.
White flag waves, 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
There's no better feeling than when you have a car like Truex does. You have a 3-second lead. You get to take the white flag lap plan and just savor it and kind of enjoy all of it. Don't have to run at 100%.
He'll hear these words. Just bring it home. That's right. A good phrase. And nobody's done it better than him. Man, I'm telling you. Again, I joke, but it's honest. Like, he's a boring winner, man. He dominates. When he decides to go out there and lead these races, he takes care of business. It's a few more corners down through the S's. Take your time. Huge lead. No mistakes. Nothing. Clean sailing in front of you. Nobody's been off the racetrack. Track is clean.
So our top,
give me about 2 or 3 more good clean corners here.
Our top 10 is going to be half Chevrolets, 3 Fords, and 2 Toyotas. But the one at the front is Martin Truex, looking for his 33rd career victory. Through turn 12, and Martin masters Sonoma. Martin Truex. For Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyota, gets his 2nd win of the season.
Oh, yeah, brother. Oh, yeah. I told you I was lining up. I felt bad for him. Good job, man.
I felt bad for him.
I love him.
No, he didn't.
Good job, guys. Thank you, man.
Truex gets his 4th win at Sonoma in his 17th start here. Second only to Jeff Gordon on the all-time win list at this track.
Man, what a turnaround for Kyle Busch, Joey Logano. Busch, a solid day, another solid day. Big turnaround for Chase Elliott, capitalizing on that. Poor McDowell having a bad pit stop, but these guys, unbelievable. You called it. Called it, buddy.
Well, we called it because you took my credit later on in the broadcast. So that's good. Great day for the 19th.
They came much clearer towards the end.
What about it? Ross Chastain? Been a struggle the last couple weeks for him. Nice way to turn that around with the top 10 today.
Now, the one that you look at is Denny Hamlin. That's the one that today really unraveled out from underneath in a big way. Pole sitter, by the way.
Look at the smoke inside the car. That's so awesome.
Well, he's lighting it up for all those fans up at turn 7 in the chalet up there. Truex, who is 42, just became the oldest NASCAR Cup driver to win on a road course since 45-year-old Tony Stewart beat Truex here on the last lap in 2016. '204th career win for Joe Gibbs Racing. 11 drivers scored those wins. 4th win of the year for them.
Coach Joe Gibbs down there, a big smile on his face. These Toyotas, they keep getting strong. You start thinking about us going off the air here, right? Hand it over to our buddies over at NBC. Keep an eye on these Toyotas. They are catching the Chevrolets, catching that Hendrick camp in a big way. Tell you what, great shots today. Great crew. I've had so much fun with you, Mike. Had a lot of guests. Jamie, all of them. Looking forward to next year bringing Harvick in, but it has been fun. It's challenging sometimes bringing a guest in, but just hats off to everybody. This is so much fun to be able to do this week in and week out with this crew. We truly have a great family of Fox people behind us.
Well, as we told them this morning, this is the most dedicated crew in sports television. What they've been through with rain delays and rain outs, and then get it all together and get it to the West Coast in 2 days, and then get these pictures on the air for you and the sounds of the race.
Clint, I don't know about you, but you win one of these races, it's such a long lap here at Sonoma. You want to do all the burnouts. What you really want is that moment with your team. You know, like that.
Save a little bit.
I want to do this. Yeah, I mean, like it's that celebration you get to have with your whole team.
Yeah, for sure. He's going to burn it down right to them, stop in front of them. No, he just went right by him, Jamie. I won't turn around. I'm coming back.
They may get a drive-through for excessive burnout.
You know, the only thing I didn't get to do this year is drive that drone.
Well, I would say that was probably my reason, Clint.
I did get to drive you around, though. Love that.
Clint, I think that's because flying a drone is an art, but landing a drone really requires skill.
I did not say anything about landing the drone.
Okay.
Taking care of business. Boss man Johnny Morris, he's going to be happy.
Fourth win here. Unbelievable, that guy at this track.
When you're hot, you're hot. And Martin Truex, boy, he mastered Sonoma today.
It's one of those old-fashioned. What did Larson say the other day? That's an old-fashioned butt whooping right there. No mistakes. Did a great job. Lost some track position. Got right back up through them. Checked all the boxes today.
Jamie Little.
And Martin Truex Jr. climbs from his race car. They're waiting. They're holding the checkered flag for you over here, Martin. You grabbed that first. It was no secret last year. Joe Gibbs Racing was off when it came to road course racing. But you guys didn't give up, and you came back to stomp them today. A dominant performance. What did it take to get you back here, this team back here, to victory lane?
You know, Jamie, just a lot of hard work by everybody. Everybody at Toyota, TRD, everybody at JGR in the offseason to kind of redesign. You know, we got to do some work with NASCAR to redesign some stuff. Everybody did, and they did a good job there. But just hats off to my team, you know, James, Jazzy, all the guys, you know, to be so bad here last year and to come back and do that with the same car basically is it's really unbelievable. So just proud of them. You know, we're having a great year. I feel really good about our team. Bass Pro Shops, Toyota, TRD, Reacher's Fine Foods, Auto Owners, Toyota, Noble Aerospace, Rock, Flight Safety, Sherwin-Williams, Oakley. Got them all in this time. Last time I screwed up. But we couldn't do it without all of our partners, all of our fans. And, man, just feels incredible to have a day like that and a run like that and a team like I have. They're doing everything right now, and it's a lot of fun to drive these cars. So thanks to them. I also got to give a shout out to my cousin Jeremy. He's in the hospital, a little banged up. Hopefully he's feeling a little better. Be out in a few days.
Martin, yesterday in qualifying, you said, I'm having fun. You had that big smile on your face. Second win this year. What's it like to have a car this good with a team that's just connecting the way it is?
That's why we do it, Jamie. This is, you know, this is why you go through years like we had last year, and you just keep fighting. You never give up on it. You always believe in each other. You know, we haven't changed anything on our team other than, you know, parts and pieces, and it's just through a lot of hard work of a lot of people. So thanks to Coach and everybody, and our pit crew's been really working hard. They did a great job today. So it takes a total team effort these days, as close as everything is with these cars, and you got to execute. We were able to do that today.
Martin Truex Jr. wins at Sonoma for the 4th time.
Well, Kyle Busch starts 12th today, finishes 2nd. But there was a lot of work that had to happen throughout the course of the weekend on this race car, Kyle. You guys did a nice job getting it tuned up. Great pit strategy and impressive second place day.
Yeah, not too bad, obviously. Just wish we had a little bit more. I tried there really hard at the end to at least try to keep Martin honest, and felt like I could beat him a little bit on a lap, and then I would mess up, and he'd beat me by a little more on the next lap, you know. So we were just kind of trading a little bit there, but then he was able to pull away there late. But great job by all the guys on this McLaren Grills Camaro. Just Proud of the effort. You know, we gave it everything that we had. We made a lot of changes, as you said, and you know, we got a lucky break there with a yellow with only 3 laps on tires, so we were able to kind of cycle to the front. And you know, once we got up there, we could maintain pace with some of the good cars and have a good, you know, top 3 speed race car, and just kind of flip-flop the race a little bit. So good fortunes for us, and you know, nice to come out of here with a P2 after a win last week.
3 wins to this point in the season as we head into the off week, a first and a second the past 2 weeks. This team really stringing together some good runs. How close are you guys to be able to make a run towards Phoenix this year?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want an off week. Let's go, right? We're rolling right now, but it'll be a good break for everybody just to kind of regroup and refocus and set in for the last 18 in a row, you know. But all in all, just real proud of the guys and the communication and the way they're able to go to work and kind of work through some of our issues and try to improve on what I need to be able to feel in a race car to be able to put out finishes like that. So if we can keep doing those things, then you know, we'll be a force.
Thanks, Kyle. Good job.
Thanks, Regan. Toyota wins, Chevy second, Ford third, and to Jamie Little's point, last year the highest finishing Toyota was 18th. This year they're in victory lane with Martin Truex, and we'll be right back. Coming up next on Fox, stick around for week 9 of the USFL. It's a North Division showdown as the Philadelphia Stars take on the New Jersey Generals, and the Stars can clinch a playoff berth today. Catch all the action coming next on Fox. Martin Truex celebrates in victory lane. He'll get that big goblet of wine and start the celebration. Well, let's look at the standings here. 16 drivers will make the playoffs, and 10 different winners so far in the regular season. 16 down, 10 races to go.
Yeah, Truex right there adding his name to that multi-win column. It's a big day for him.
And you see where the cut line is and the differential of drivers between themselves and the cutoff line at Alex Bowman, just ahead of Daniel Suarez there. So below that line, those drivers could point their way in, but these drivers are in a win to get in or else situation.
Yeah, I mean, just look at that bubble scenario on that last page for 2 seconds there. I mean, Suarez had a tough day, puts Bowman right back in the thick of things, and only with a decent day. This is far from over, and this is why I love connecting and staying tuned to this sport as NBC takes over, because I'm telling you, that's going to definitely heat up. Look at that goblet. It's
that's
full
gonna
right
be
there.
That's going to be the best taste you can have all day long.
I know you're not going to believe this. I broke my goblet.
No doubt.
Party was pretty intense.
All right, well, thanks to my colleagues, I'm reminded that when Tony Stewart got that win, he beat Denny Hamlin, not Martin Truex. The memory fades over the years, but still was one hell of a finish.
It's fine. I told him he was just standing a little bit too close to me. That's what happened with your stat on that one. But for sure, you know, goes back to Tony winning that race, goes back to today. 4 times that Martin Truex has won this race. Pretty incredible.
Yeah, and I mean, I was so impressed with Kyle Busch, not just today, but just his season overall, his resurgence back at Richard Childress Racing. Not only the 3 wins this year, but to be able to run second at a road course. He talked about short tracks being the weakness. Maybe they've gotten that figured out today with this current package.
And Chase Elliott's back. Yes, he's in a win to get in situation, but top 5 today. His first race of the year on a road course. Had good rhythm, had good pace, right up there in the mix.
You know you're not going to keep him down. That's a champion, Mike. That guy knows how to win championships. He knows how to win races, and I think they win a race before it's all said and done. Put themselves in
I like
playoffs.
that they went for it today. Like they took a chance. Like what ended up not being the right strategy, but they took a chance and they went for it, trying to get that win.
Why did they go for it? Because they did. It's all about winning. That's the only thing they care about is winning. That, and you heard Alan Gustafson say they have to win to be able to be in the playoffs, and you're going to see them gamble and doing just that. To, what they did today, that ain't going to be the last time.
And I like the no stage breaks in road courses. It gives everybody a whole lot of strategy choices, makes for some interesting racing.
Well, it makes for a long race from up here. I can promise you that. But I do like it. I love road racing. I love this racetrack. And I think the thought was to give strategy a chance to play out, and that it did it in Coda, and it was doing it again today.
Well, and you didn't penalize the guys that were running well. They still had the opportunity to get stage points if they wanted, but there were guys behind them that could cycle ahead, and so I really enjoyed seeing that aspect of it.
Look what it changed, right? The play. The caution did come. All right, well, what did it do? It really gave those teams an opportunity to really change the outcome of their deal. Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch that you talked about, a lot of guys took advantage of that caution, untimely caution on pit road.
So an exciting day at Sonoma as usual. What a fitting place to cap off the NASCAR on Fox season. We wish our colleagues at NBC well as they go forward. The USFL is coming up, but first we've got more coverage coming up from the Charlotte studio of our race here at Sonoma today. Martin Truex caps off a great day in wine country.
Coming up after our post-race coverage, we've got some USFL, the Philadelphia Stars at the New Jersey Generals. There's DeAndre Johnson, quarterback for New Jersey. Those guys are getting warmed up out there. How about this guy, Case Cookus, quarterback for the Stars, ready to get some action out there. But before we talk USFL, let's talk JGR and MTJ. We started the Fox Sports portion of the NASCAR season at the Clash early February. He won that race. As we bookend it today in Sonoma, he's getting his 4th victory out there at the road course. What a day it was for Martin Truex Jr., his 33rd career win, 2nd of the season. And you saw those 4 fingers outside that window. He knows 4th Sonoma win. He's now just 1 behind Jeff Gordon. So it was a history-making day out there. Hang with us. We've got some post-race coverage. We're going to try to get to as many drivers as we possibly can that finished in the top 5 and top 10 here with Larry and Trevor. And listen, Martin Truex Jr., we know he's good at this track, but this was a really, really good performance from him today.
I mean, it was. And we saw it in the beginning of the race. You know, he was working his way up there. I mean, they had a good car that had short run speed, long run speed. But you talk about King of Sonoma. He's the only repeat winner that we've had in the last 14 races at Sonoma. And think about, you showed those wins. Remember, put Dover in there too, where he got his first win of the season. Prior to that, he had not won a race since September of 2021 at Richmond, Virginia. Broke that long winless streak when he got that win at Dover.
Yeah, he was tired of answering the questions about when that winless streak was going to be snapped. Let's get to the track. Regan Smith is with Joey Logano, who finished 3rd.
Well, Joey Logano, another one of those cars with great pit strategy today. It worked out well. End up with a 3rd place run. Really leapfrog a lot of cars there when that took place. I imagine that had to help some.
Oh, absolutely. Not just overall, the team did an amazing job. Paul, the pit crew, Paul making great calls, but also making great changes. The engineers. He's still celebrating. I don't blame him. I'd be celebrating too. But I've kind of felt like doing a burnout after our day. I felt pretty good. So great execution. Like I said, we got the car a lot better last night, and to where I can at least hang in the top 5. I wasn't good enough to win by no means, but to get the Auto Trader Mustang up towards the front, get some momentum. We got lucky a few times today. One with the strategy, but also when we got hit by the 45, it knocked the tire off the bead, and somehow the thing's holding air. So we got pretty lucky today to get through it and get some points and get some momentum back going.
I know there's good weeks and bad weeks as seasons play out. When you can take a week that maybe doesn't look like it's going great and have a performance like this, how does that help build towards the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what we needed. We had just the last couple months is like, if it could happen, it happened. And you're just like, what next? You almost start the race wondering, like, what's going to happen today? But to get through the last couple weeks and really maximize the finishes even better than where we were running, especially towards the end of them, that's something to be proud of. So, you know, hey, we'll finish the first half of the season in a couple top 5s. We'll go on vacation. Thanks to Fox, everyone at Fox who are covering our races. I had a lot of fun up in the booth with you guys, and hope to do it again.
Enjoy the off week. Thanks, Joey.
That's 7 straight top 10 finishes on road courses for Chris Buescher. And Chris, I talked to you before this race because you're always there, especially when it counts at the end. Take us through your day. I mean, you guys seemed good, but you were there closing at the end.
Yeah, we had a really good 5th, 3rd bank for Mustang, and I'm really proud of our group. They did a heck of a job, and yet again, I had something fast and fun to drive, and we're able to slowly work our way up through all the runs, and you know, a couple of the cautions just weren't quite timely for us, and ended up losing some of that track position, and just took us a little too long to get it back. So would have loved to have a shot at the 19. It's the only guy I don't
don't know how we stacked up against right now. I know we were better than some of the cars that finished ahead of us, so would have liked to have gotten there and seen what we had. It's still a good day. You know, road race, I did still a solid finish for us. Just got to figure out how to get that win. Top 10s are great, but we got to figure out how to win one of these things.
Chris Buescher brings it home 4th today.
Thanks, Jamie. Yeah, he finished 8th at COTA earlier this season, 2nd here last year. And you saw the stat up on the screen. I mean, this is his 7th top 10 finish on a road course. Let's get used to saying Chris Buescher when we're racing on this type of track.
Yeah, I love his composure and consistency. And not just at road courses, Shannon. It's been since early April that he was outside the top 18 in these races, even on ovals, dirt. At Bristol, he finished in the top 18. So I think this group is hitting the ball right down the middle, as you say. They're doing everything that they need to do to make it into the playoffs. They're 85 above the cut coming into this race. Now with this finish, it just moves them on up more. So I think this team is showing some strength, and the strength is consistency for sure.
Yeah, we know one of the drivers that has to win in order to make the playoffs is Chase Elliott. He's back this week after serving that 1-week suspension. He had a top 5 finish, and he's with Jamie Little.
Well, coming into the race today, obviously, we knew that it was a must-win. If he wins, he's in. But top 5s really was the goal. I know between you and your crew chief, you said we just need to start clicking off top 5s. How good was this effort for you today?
Yeah, for sure. Nice to get a top 5, no doubt. So I was proud of that. You know, we were trying to do something a little different with strategy, and we had pit about 6 or 8 laps there before that caution, and just felt like our only play was to stay out, you know, and I was really hoping that more people would do that with us, where you had 3 or 4 rows, and probably still wouldn't have been enough, but I do think it would have been nicer, you know, to have a couple more rows of a buffer before the tires got to us. But yeah, it was a good fight. Certainly had one of our better runs there the last couple, so always good to finish strong. And you know, it wasn't an ideal situation, so to kind of fight through it there and get a top 5 is a good thing. So looking forward to trying to build on that and hopefully contend for a win here before long. So definitely closer today.
10 more races to try to make it into the playoffs.
Always fast on road course races. A.J. Allmendinger yet again today, another fast race, 6th place finish, something that you can build on as we go into the off week.
Yeah, definitely. I thought we were anywhere from a 3rd to 5th place car. Gabriel Glass Chevy was really good short run speed. The fire off speed, we had a lot of speed. I just built too loose, and then in traffic it just get worse and worse. So we got put back there a little bit in traffic, but fought back. Still need a little bit, but we're making gains on it. It's good momentum for the off week.
Thanks, AJ.
All these guys talking about the off week, talking about going on vacation. I heard Chase Elliott, I heard him say strategy, and my ears went bing, and I looked at you because that's right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, they ran long on that last set of green flag pit stops, and they had pitted at lap 80. The caution comes out at lap 91. A lot of, like Martin Truex Jr. had 16 laps on his tires. Alan Gustafson decided to leave Chase out there, but the problem, like Chase said, we had over 30 drivers on the lead lap. Only 3 drivers stayed out. Reddick, Blaney, and Chase Elliott. But to come home with the top 5, you know, they just got to keep chipping away here at it. I think we still know with 10 races to go, they're in a must-win situation. We still have 3 more road courses. We still have Daytona, the regular season finale. So it's still out there for Chase.
We still have a little post-race coverage, and this is like the perfect day for you. Want to know why? Because we've got NASCAR, we've got wine, and we have football, because we have the USFL coming up after this. Yeah, take a look at this. The Philadelphia Stars getting ready to face off against the New Jersey Generals. We'll be right back.
And the whole world is wondering, what's it going to take to stop this U.S. team?
Easy, love. We mark Alex. What about Rose or Trinity?
Poor bloody Rapinoe.
Rapinoe scores!
We could get younger players.
They already did that.
We have veteran experience.
Listen to what you're saying. That is a world-class combination. Their flights could get canceled. Seriously?
We can steal their players.
It's quite simple, really. You train for 4 years in an AR simulations that mimics their every move.
Yeah.
Initializing Crystal Dunn.
I got it. We go back in time and stop them from ever playing soccer. It's a great game. You'll love it.
Wait,
Are you just describing the plot of Terminator?
What's it going to take to stop this U.S. team?
They're faster, slower, rougher, nicer, eh?
Play with passion.
With style.
With precision.
Je ne sais quoi. I mean, the entire world is going to do whatever it takes to stop the U.S.
Good luck with that.
Definitely looking forward to that coming up this summer. We're looking forward to this as well. At the top of the hour, a little USFL. Philadelphia Stars taking on the New Jersey Generals. So stick around for that. As Martin Truex Jr. currently celebrating in Victory Lane. Listen, he is more of a cold beer kind of guy. We know that, but I'm sure that Pinot Noir tastes just fine.
Tastes just fine. Absolutely.
Just fine. Larry Mack, as we wrap up our portion of the season, your thoughts on what we've done so far?
Yeah, I mean, 16 races, 10 different winners, but to me, the highlight was going back to North Wilkesboro for the All-Star race. That was a big, big hit. I know it was a butt kicking, but it was a big hit.
I totally agree, Larry. There's a lot of genuine excitement around that race. It's so much fun to watch. But this one here for Truex, that's going to be his highlight.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun. So our next Cup race is Nashville on June 25th at 7 p.m. on NBC. We've got Race Hub weeknights at 6 on FS1. Up next, as I said, the USFL. We've had so much fun this season. Thank you for being part of our Saturdays and Sundays. Here's a look back at some of the adventures we took you on. Good night, everyone.
Take a call in. People dream about moments like this. Hell yeah, boys, let's go!
Take the check to the bank.
Yeah, baby! It just come off.
Oh, we're jamming hard.
They need to park it. Let's go!
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
NASCAR Race Hub, weeknights on FS1.